cards is a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Jeremy Lee in the building and every guest that you ever needed. Sports cards after hours keep the hobby heated. Updates, hobby talk like you never seen it. Sports cards live and none could ever beat it. Sports cards is a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Welcome to another episode of Sports Cards Live with your host, Jeremy Lee.
All right, welcome everybody to the PWCC Premier Extended Bidding Watch Party. It is Thursday night, June the 22nd, 2023. My name is Jeremy Lee. Want to let you all know Sports Cards Live coming up 2 days from now on Saturday. Our guest will be Robbie Pastry. He's got a lot of interesting takes on the hobby, good strategy. Come join me on Saturday for that. And then the next night, Sunday night, 9:30 Eastern, another PWCC auction ending watch party. Will be covering Josh Madigan and myself, Josh of the Hockey Cards Gong Show and myself. We'll be covering the weekly hockey auction on the PWCC weekly platform. Guys, I would like to shout out Basketball Card Fanatic Magazine, our co-host tonight, Adam Gray, editor-in-chief Adam Gray. Go to bcfmag.com and subscribe if you have not yet to what is the nicest magazine in our hobby. Adam is actually running a few minutes late tonight, so it's going to be myself until he gets here 15, 20 minutes from now. You're stuck with just me for the first part of the evening. As always, guys, I do thank you for being subscribed to Sports Cards Live, for tuning in to these PWCC auction-ending watch parties, as well as the rest of the action on the Sports Cards Live channel. And if you are not yet subscribed, I'd be grateful if you would take a moment and do so. And usually at this time, I say, with that, let's bring our co-host. But as I just said, he is not quite here yet. So it's just me, but we're going to still kick things off. Vintage Card Collector has joined, says it might be a shorter auction tonight. There's 104 items in the auction, quite manageable, I think. And I mean, I've looked at these items, and there's some really nice cards. There's 6 cards that I would love to be buying, I got to tell you. And I'll show you which ones they are. I don't think I'm going to be, unfortunately, but boy, would I love to be able to buy all 6 of them. I'll show you guys what those are. Brent, Deep Value Investor in the house. What's up, Brent? Good to see you. You guys can check out the very interesting episode I had with Brent on Sports Cards Live last Saturday. That's on the YouTube channel. So why don't we do this? Because Adam is not here yet. Why don't we start with me showing you guys the cards that I am particularly interested in, I would love to be able to purchase. So here's the auction. I'm just going to go to my favorites, and you guys can see these are my favorites, and I'll talk about them briefly here with you all. So, well, let's see. Ken Sumner's back. Good to see you, Ken. Yeah, I'm going to show you. You see 3 of them right now. Will S., the usual suspects are here. Let's hear the 6. Vintage. What makes you say that it might be? I think maybe he just means, Will, that there are fewer items. Perhaps there's 104. Perhaps that's it. But okay, so the top 3 cards here. Here's why I like these cards, why I'm interested in these cards. So I'm looking. I would love to add a T206 Ty Cobb rookie to my collection. There's 2 versions. Well, I think there's 3 or 4 versions of Ty Cobb, but there's 2 portrait versions in the T206 series. There's the green background, the green portrait, which you see here, and the red portrait. The green one, if you don't know, is actually the rarer version, I guess you could say. And the red version is actually the one I prefer. The red version, I think the red just pops more, but the green one isn't too bad either. And it's really hard to find in good condition. It does sell for more than the red because of that. When I saw this copy, I thought, my goodness, what a beautiful copy. One of the things I like about, and when I'm looking for a Ty Cobb, and I haven't pulled the trigger yet, is I want to be able to see the whole Cobb, Detroit here. Oftentimes this is really low down in this border. Sometimes half of it's cut off. I like that you've got a nice full bottom border here. It's a bit off center to the top, but the left and right borders look really nice. Not perfectly centered, but still a very, very nice copy. And the other thing I noticed about this card, I'm going to zoom in a bit, is that there's no registration issue with the border. Oftentimes the green or the red background will bleed over this thin black line. And in this, or it'll be set back and you'll have a bit of a gap. I actually forget which one is more common, but this one doesn't have it. And, you know, these corners look really good to me. Like, I like a bit of a rounded corner on a card that's 120 years old. So this copy looks really nice. Now, it's graded a 4. To me, it looks a bit nicer. So maybe there's something else going on with it. I'm not sure, but I love this card. And you know, what's that? It's at $18,000 right now with the buyer's premium. And yeah, I would love to add this. And if I did add this, if I added the green because I found the right opportunity, I wouldn't bother with the red at that point. I would just stick with this one. Okay, hold on. Some comments here. Jason Wormy in the house. What's going on, my guy? Good to see you. Brent, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry, but listen, I'll leave it for you. I will leave it for you. Will's going to go bid on it. And Will says, agreed. The red Cobb is, yeah, that's exactly what I think too, Will. The red one is just a nicer card, and it also helps that to say, you know, I prefer the red because you're also going to save money. You're going to spend less on a red than a green. But again, like I just said, if I could buy a green at the right price, I think that I would. So, all right, we also have the second card of the 6 of my favorites, the Shaquille O'Neal. This is the Molten Metal Fusion Titanium, numbered out of 40, die cut numbered. These cards are pretty awesome. I used to own I think the silver version out of 250. I traded it away at the last national, and this is one that, you know, the gold kind of matches the yellow Lakers jersey. I do really like the looks of this card, and if I was, you know, I would love to buy this card. I'm just not going to today. So someone else will be the lucky new owner. It's in a PSA 8 holder, which I think is you know, kind of perfect for the card. This is a very, very delicate card, and I love it. And like our friend Deep Value Investor, who on his Instagram today, you know, said that he thinks that Shaquille O'Neal is currently undervalued, and we'll see him up there with the likes of, I think he said, Wilt and Bill Russell. I find it hard to disagree. Shaquille O'Neal is a legend. So I do love this card. And then the third one, Sidney Crosby, the Cup rookie patch auto. It's in a PSA 8 holder, near mint to mint card with the 10 auto. And, you know, this is his best rookie card. And I've owned several of these over the years, not for a long time, though. I've owned 5 different copies of this card. This one's very nice. Nice 3-color patch, beautiful autograph. Centering, as you can see, and I measure the centering by these little rivets here, the distance between these and the border. So this one is like way off centered to the right, probably still within PSA's, you know, tolerance for centering on an 8, but at this point, I don't think it matters so much, because when I look at this card, it doesn't bother me so much that it's off centered. Actually, obviously, you know, optimally, you want a perfectly centered card, and if this was better centered, perhaps this would be a 9 or even a 10. So, but it's also one of those cards where the patch is super important. Nice 3-color patch, one of those beggars can't be choosers sort of thing. And the other thing is that it's sitting at $38,000 right now. We just saw an Alex Ovechkin Cup RPA in, I believe it was in a PSA 10 holder that just sold for, you know, $180,000 or something, and that card had previously been in a BGS 9 holder. So, and it was off centered as well. I think when all is said and done, and we're looking back on these players, Sidney Crosby will be right up there with Alex Ovechkin. So maybe an opportunity, and this is a rare 3-color, guys. There are not a ton of 3-color Crosby Cup RPAs. Okay, next row of cards that I am particularly interested in. This one right here, simply because, well, I love the card. This Ken Griffey Jr., this is the Star Rubies from 1999, numbered out of 50. It's a BGS 9. This one does have a subgrade that is an 8.5 right over there. Centering 9, corners 9, surface 9.5. I do own a copy of this card. Mine actually has better subgrades. Mine's also a BGS 9, but it has better subgrades. So I'm keenly interested in what this card is going to sell for tonight. And it's up there with my favorite cards in my personal collection, guys. So while I'm not going to buy it, I'm going to be transparent, let you know that I have one of these. This card is so nice in hand. literally like, I think it's probably one of my top 5 favorite cards that I own. And so I want to see what it sells for, because it's always fun. Don't you think? It's always fun to see what a card sells for when you own a copy of it yourself. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens here. And this one is it's a BGS 9. It's a beauty. Next up, the Essential Credentials Future, also from 1999, Ken Griffey Jr., numbered out of 104, PSA 9. Look how beautiful this card is. It's at 5250. That's what it was at earlier today when I was looking at it. I've been looking at it like this, and I noticed something on the edge right here. So I zoomed in, and I realized that this is actually just I believe it's the PSA. It's the inner ridge there within the slab that is giving it that look. So I do not think that that's an edge issue. I think that is just the holder. But this card, if you hold this card in hand and you turn it around, you see all the different lights shining off his name, Griffey Jr. here. And the EX, it is just this is, if you know me at all, I absolutely love Essential Credentials, all sports, pretty much all years. And this one would go nicely with my Star Rubies, but I'm just not a buyer today, unfortunately. But gosh, this is great. I did see that card just went by there. In any event, 2 absolutely beautiful Griffey cards here for the taking for everybody. And good luck. Good luck. We're seeing some nice cards there. And then finally, the 6th one that interests me tonight is this Connor McDavid Seismic Gold from O-Pee-Chee Platinum 2015 on card auto, PSA 9, with the autograph getting a 10. Let's take a quick look at this one. So you can see it's off-centered, probably why it's not a 10, because with these gold seismics, these little ovals that you see everywhere, you can count them there's 4 complete ovals right there, and looks like about just 3 or just under 3 on the right side. So it's definitely off-centered right to left. Autographs very nice, as you can see. And it's what I love about O-Pee-Chee Platinum when they do put autographs on them is that they're on card. They're not stickers. And they actually fade the part of the card where the autograph goes. So this is a beautiful card. I think it's one of his key rookie cards, numbered out of 50, sitting right now at $12,500 plus buyer's premium. So those are the 6 cards that I am particularly interested in tonight, but the auction's loaded with good stuff as well. So, but I want to ask you guys in the chat, what do you think? What are some cards, any cards that you guys are particularly interested in? Anything you'd like me to highlight, perhaps take a look at? Would be happy to do that for you anytime. So let me know. Collector's Dream, what is going on? Good to see you. Jay-Z in the house says the Crosby is the business. This one here, 38,000. I genuinely think that that's a very good price right now for this card. The grade as an 8, I'm caring less and less about grades of some cards. I know it's kind of, counterintuitive for a lot of people, but when it comes to a rare card, and yeah, there's 99 copies of this card, which means, it's not like there's 3 or 5 of them. There's 99, but a card like this gets locked away for a long time. And there's I have a feeling there's somebody that may have more than one out there. And like I said earlier, I've had 5 of these over the course of my hobby career. I don't think I've owned any since probably 2010 or 11. So, but I definitely do love that card. Gen Z says gold seismic McDavid are out of 25, not 50. Corrected. Thank you. I guess the non-autographed gold seismics are out of 50. This is out of 25, making it that much more special, that much rarer. And yeah, what a great card. Thank you, Gen Z. I appreciate that. I misspoke there. Collector's Dream Orlando says, I like the green Cobb. Yeah, I do too. I did do too. Jay-Z says it's a good buy in the Crosby. Please stop highlighting it. Listen, Jay-Z, if you're going to ask me to stop highlighting it, you better be putting in a bid, okay? You better be putting in a bid if you want me to stop highlighting it. But all right, guys, those are the 6 that I personally had favorited for my own reasons. I think I've gone through and explained it. And if I were to buy one card tonight, I would be probably between this Griffey and this Shaquille O'Neal. It would be between those two for me tonight. Again, I already own one of these. This I'm watching just because it's such a nice card. This I'm curious about, and same with this one here. Jay-Z, the 51 Mantle Bowman is very nice. Well, let's go take a look at that. So I'm going to unclick here. We're going to go to all items now. And let's see what is there. Those were only 6 of the 104 items in the auction. And here we are on the first page. I'm going to kind of scroll. Gosh, there's some nice cards in this auction, you guys. You know, while there's 104 items, and we've seen Premier auctions with I believe up to 300, 350 items in it, pound for pound, this might be one of my favorite premieres ever. This is, and by the way, this is episode 28. This is the 28th time that myself and Adam have covered the Premier auction. And man, that's over 2 years. It goes by fast. There's the Shaq. Here's a nice Peyton Manning Precious Metal Gems Metal Universe PSA 10. But let's just kind of scroll through here quickly. We'll go and find the Mickey Mantle that Jay-Z just called out. Let's see. Okay, so we have, are there 2 of them, Jay-Z, or is it just this one? It's an SGC 4 51 Bowman Mantle, his one and only true rookie card. It's got the PWCC exceptional eye appeal rating, putting it in the top 15% of copies of this card that have passed through the PWCC offices. So let's have a look at this. And what I like to do, number one, is I like to compare, do I agree with the grade given by the third-party grading company? And then do I agree with PWCC's eye appeal rating? And right away, I mean, this is a very nice card. First of all, I definitely agree with PWCC's eye appeal rating, because you look at this card and you almost have to look for issues that bring it off of being like a 7. I mean, this could be a 7 from here. But when you kind of lean in and zoom, I do notice a couple of things. Like you've got this fisheye right here on the name bar, which, I mean, it is what it is. It's not a deal breaker for me. Looks like you got a little bit of surface wear right here on the cap. I can tell you the registration on this copy is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But look at the centering on this thing. The centering, I don't want to say it's bang on, but it's pretty good. I mean, this border down over here where my mouse is, a little bit wider than the border up here. May have some slight counterclockwise tilt going on, but for a 51 Bowman, this thing is absolutely stunning. So listen, I'm not going to say I disagree with SGC giving it a 4. It might be undergraded, or we're also not looking at the back. However, I just noticed something else. There looks to be a little bit of wear on the surface down here as well. So that could be causing the grade to come down. Then this corner might have a slight bend. And I can't really see it in this light. If that's a slight bend there, then I would say it's accurately graded, but I certainly would agree with PWCC's eye appeal rating that this is an absolute blazer on this particular 51 Bowman. So yeah, I really, really, really like it. Jay-Z says the registration, in my opinion, is a 9. The centering, a 9. Yeah, I can get my head around that. All right, Adam has joined us in the green room. Gonna just do a couple comments on this before we welcome him onto the show. Will says, how many items were up the last 2 to 3 premieres? I just don't remember. Collector's Dream, beautiful centering on the mantle, junk wax packs. It is a heater. It is a heater, this card we're looking at right now. Will says the PWCC eye appeal can be hit or miss. There's a bench that's a 9 this week, but the back is really, that's the thing. Eye appeal, I believe, Will, is really focused on the front of the card where we spend most of our time looking. But I can, you don't have to agree with that. That's for sure as well. And Jay-Z says surface wear, yes, and the back is ugly. Of which card are you talking about, Jay-Z? All right, let's bring out Mr. Adam Gray. Welcome. You're late.
I know. I think how long have we been doing this? This is the first time that I've been late. You were late a couple months ago. I thought I'd take my turn. We have a tradition in my family to watch the NBA draft together. My dad and me do. And so we went down to the Delta Center here in Salt Lake. We watched till the Jazz's pick, and we got in the car and we headed home so that we could do the show. But I couldn't miss out on the tradition. So there it is.
All right. Well, good. Good to have you here. I've been holding down the fort. I had starred 6 items in this auction tonight that I really liked. And so I went through those and I can show you again after. But I want to just go back to the mantle really quickly, as Jay-Z mentioned the back. So I went, I unshared the screen, I brought up the back of the card. And so here it is. And he says surface wear and the back is ugly. So I wouldn't go as far as calling this ugly. I mean, it seems to have some coloration, I don't know, discoloration over here, a little bit in the corner. You've got some of this stuff over here and here, which I don't even know what that is. And then maybe a little bit of like this dark gray over here. But I mean, I've seen a lot of these cards and that I don't consider this to be ugly, Jay-Z. Are you sure you feel that way? It doesn't look that bad to me. Now I can see, this might be part of the reason why it doesn't grade a lot higher, but this is still a really nice card overall. Front is great. A little bit, I think the surface right in here, I'm not sure that little pink spot is supposed to be there. Same with the elbow and here, but overall, this is stunning. He says, maybe ugly is too strong a word. I think it is a Jay-Z. In this case, I think it is. I think this is a fine back for I'd welcome this card into my collection all the time. No problem at all. Okay, well, Adam, now that you're here, we've scrolled through a few looking for that mantle because it was called out. Why don't we do what we like to do and go to the first page and talk through these cards? What do you think?
It sounds great to me, man.
All right. So, championship ticket, Tom Brady, contenders, playoff contenders, rookie card autographed, 100 copies in existence, BGS 8.5, $320,000 at this point in time. I don't really know what to say about this card. There's only 100 of them. We see them on the regular. It's Tom Brady. It's no doubt this is his best card that exists. 8.5, I think, is a respectable grade. If you are someone who is playing in that, $500,000 range when you're buying cards, it's probably a card that if you don't already own it, you might be wanting to buy this one tonight. You might be looking to buy one. You might be thinking to yourself, oh, when's the market going to bottom out? I might buy one then, and then the market's going to turn around. You're going to be like, oh, I missed my opportunity. You just never know. I'm not somebody who times the market, so I don't pretend to be that person. But autograph has a 10. It's an important card. It does feel like when you see it so often that it almost loses its luster a little bit. But I think don't listen. If this is a card that you're bullish on, if this is a card that you covet, don't let the fact that you see it more than you'd like make you think, well, maybe I shouldn't buy it. There's still only 100 of them made.
That's right.
So, I mean, once they're locked up, they're locked up. The problem is people haven't been, or at least some people haven't been locking them up lately. What are your thoughts, Adam?
Yeah, I think that you're right that when we see something sell a lot, it sort of seems like it's less rare than it is. You like to have a card that doesn't pop up for sale. And so the thing that I always think with stuff like that, though, is that I want to buy things at the right time. And I'd rather not be the person who buys something after it's not listed for years and years. I'd rather be somebody who buys a card after it's been listed a whole bunch to maybe get some of the big buyers out of the way. It's a card that sold for well into the millions of dollars. It's a card where an 8.5 is actually a really strong grade. And I did a little bit of research on this card for some content that PWCC and I did together this last couple weeks. The thing that I found that was really interesting is that the average grade on this card is actually a little bit more than a half a point lower than the base card is. And then when I dived into that further, I found that the surface grade on the champ tickets is almost a full grade lower on average than the regular contenders rookie is. To me, that was really interesting, but it makes sense too, because, Jeremy, that more shiny surface, the holofoil, it's just more likely to be a little bit more sensitive. And so 8.5 is a pretty strong grade. It's a pretty strong copy. It's a card that sold for a lot more. There's so many of them that have sold that it's maybe a better time to buy it. Those are all things that it sort of has going for it as one of the most recognizable football cards of all time. only 100. It's not as big a number as some people think. But like you say, and I think you're exactly right, we've seen it so much that it just doesn't seem that rare.
Okay, great comments. And as you were speaking, I was really looking at the corners and the edges, because the edges have an 8, the corners have an 8.5. And I think that that's a little harsh, to be quite honest. I'm looking at the edges, and okay, this corner here, you see a tip of white, but it's not that bad. You can't really tell what's going on there. Top edge looks good, a couple dots, but I think that's like just the cut. Like, this doesn't offend me, this bit down here. I come down, this seems, I don't know, is that bothersome? It doesn't really bother me. This seems to be the biggest culprit right here, bottom left corner. And perhaps like this, maybe that's some sort of rivet or something coming out of the bottom of the card. But these seem like minor flaws to me. And, for the grade, but, I guess at the same time, I'm glad that it was, not given too high of a grade. Maybe just a little tough on. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. The autograph though looks really good, and it was appropriately given a 10. I can't see any issues with that right there. So I think is this there's some sort of embossment on the card, I believe, and that's what this is here. I do not think that's not a surface issue. And then down here, I'm not sure what's going on here. Is that also embossment?
There's actually a stamp that goes like right next to where the autograph. In fact, a lot of times it's on the autograph. It's like a kind of like a certificate of authenticity stamp that Playoff put on the card.
All right. So yeah, I think it's a great copy, to be honest. So I like the card for sure. Deep Value says some of these cards at a 99 and 100 seem like there are 1,000 of them how often they come up for sale. It's a difference between rarity and scarcity. And Brent is right, but I want to add one caveat to that, which is right now, this is a moment in time, or, a 12-month period of time where it seems to be this way, but at any moment, these could go dark. Right now it seems like that, but they could go dark. It's just possible. Plus, the fact of the matter is they're still selling for a lot of money. And this is a lot more money than what they were selling for leading up to the pandemic. And so, you might see more and more people deciding to cash out. And again, with the increased supply, you're going to see prices come down. And then it's like everything's cyclical. Maybe they will go dark for a while. All right, Adam, we have a triple NBA logo man, exquisite LeBron, Michael Jordan, Carmelo Anthony, 1 of 1, Carmelo in the middle, LeBron on the left, MJ on the right. Let's blow this thing up a little bit. Sitting at $120,000 right now, which is, what's that, 144 with a buyer's premium. Adam, I mean, this card is right up your alley in terms of your expertise. We've got centering is a 9, edges a 9, corners are an 8.5. And I'm looking at the corners right now. I see nothing wrong with them from this angle, everybody. Nothing wrong from this angle, but I'm not looking at the back and I'm not looking under a loop. Surface is a 9.5, which is really nice to see, because surface is often the toughest thing for us to assess in these two-dimensional images. But Adam, why don't you, listen, okay, I want to say, why don't you speak to the importance of this card? I believe it's important. And but really tell us, what does Carmelo do for the card being right there front and center?
Yeah, so the story here is before you talk about Carmelo, it's the guys on the left and the right of him. Anytime you can get a logo man of either of those two guys, you're dealing with a class of asset that's different than what I think people are used to seeing. You're getting them both on the same card here, and it's the first time ever that we saw 3 logo men on the same card. So the 03 Exquisite, the year before this, had dual logo men, and 04 had dual logo men autographs, as we'll see later in the auction, as well as the triple logo men. And you can't see it from this, but you can see it from the 360 view. There's a beautiful holofoil that exists around sort of the windows, around the patch windows. And so, that's where I would start. But then the next thing that I would say is Carmelo is like a top 15 scorer of all time. And so between the 3 of these guys, you have almost 100,000 points that they've scored. It's kind of crazy. I did the math. It was like 99,000 some odd. And so Carmelo in some ways doesn't seem like he should be there, as you sort of implied, because he's not like he's not one of the greatest of all. He's not one of the top 2 or 3 players of all time. He's just not. But when this card was made back in 2004, Remember, this is just following the rookie year where Carmelo and LeBron went back and forth the whole year. Who was going to be the rookie of the year? Carmelo got his team to the 8th seed in the playoffs. It was a big moment for Denver. And so it made sense at this time to have these 3 guys on the same card. And so it represents sort of a moment in time. They're 3 of the all-time great scorers. But when I look at this now, in some ways, same as you, I sort of look at it and go, well, that's the best Carmelo Anthony card in the world, ironically, because it has those other 2 guys on it.
You know, you made the comment that he's not one of the 1 or 2 best players in the world. And I think a lot of people would argue that the other 2 guys on this card are the 1 and 2 best players ever. But when I listen, we've talked a lot and been part of conversations where you're ranking the top 10 or top 20 NBA players of all time. I don't think Carmelo enters those conversations even as top 10 or 20. So never mind not being top 1 or 2, but moment in time, really cool. His affiliation, or I should say the relationship between him and LeBron in the rookie year, I think that's a really cool thing. And never mind, you've still got logo men of LeBron and Michael Jordan on 1 card. So the fact that this thing is sitting right now is still at $120,000. You know, we've seen logo men sell for a lot more that don't have Michael Jordan on them. So for some reason, call me crazy, I think this card is a really good deal right now at just shy of $150K out the door. Guys, I'm gonna do something that I haven't done, I don't think, before, but I'm gonna put a link to the PWCC Premier Auction in the chat. So right now, there it goes. It should be on Facebook and on YouTube in the chat. If you click on that link, it'll take you right to this auction yourself, and you can go in, look at the cards, look at the backs, do the 360s, the videos, all that stuff if you'd like. But do it in another window and keep us open, because me and Adam still have lots to say. Adam, this, as you probably know, the 03 Exquisite, the horizontal patch auto, one of my favorite designed cards of all time. Love them. This one looks really nice. And this the card has a Gem Mint 10 grade. The autograph has a 10 grade. Doesn't get any better than that as far as PSA goes. It's pop 1 of 2, sitting at $46,000. The autograph is definitely nice. Those white borders and corners make it hard to assess, but the black borders look super clean. So I can't say anything about that that would counter the Gem Mint 10 grade. What's it sitting at right now? This card's at $46,000. Adam, you know, again, your specialty. Say some words about this card, please.
So the thing that people need to know is that it's a game used patch rather than the RPA, which is an event used sort of rookie photo shoot type patch. And then the other thing that I really love about this particular card is, you know, some people look at the patch first. On this card, I look at the autograph. I've seen a lot of copies of this card, probably 20 of them. A lot of them have darkened, faded autos. The auto on this is exactly what you want to see. It's very blue. And so, you know, some people, I personally don't really care about the grade on the card. I really don't. It doesn't matter to me. But the autograph to me really matters, and this one's spot on.
Is it spot on, though? I'm just noticing, like, you've got where you put the pen down here really dark, then it goes light, and then it darkens up and seems to get a bit lighter here, right at the top of the J.
Yeah, you're right. Those are, I think some people would consider those minor imperfections. I didn't notice those. But the big thing for me, though, just to be clear, is the color. The color, when I said spot on, I meant the color is spot on.
It's the right blue, because sometimes you'll see the blue getting darker, almost navy, and this one is not showing signs of that, which is really nice. I do agree with that. All right, before we go to the next row, Adam, I want to do some comments here. Vintage Card Collector says that several people have reported this copy of the Brady IPO'd on Collectible for $2.1 million. This is way down. Oh, it sure is way down. That's a seventh of the price right now. Will S., not a Brady fan, but if you believe the market as a whole has roughly bottomed, then that big Brady card is a buy here. And yeah, I mean, I'm not in this echelon of buying, but I agree with that comment. If I was, this might be the time to buy the card. Gen Z said, when will rare and iconic cards be treated as if they are rare and iconic and not a card to be sold over and over again? Once they end up in collectors' hands. That's the whole thing, right? Once they end up in collectors' hands versus pure investors and speculators. And I hope that time is coming soon, Gen Z. I'm with you on that. Vintage says the market for the Brady Champ ticket is similar to LeBron Exquisite. See them all the time, and prices aren't holding up. And that's why prices aren't holding up, because we're seeing them all the time. Collector's Dream said 1/1 cards, the grades don't matter. I agree. The grades don't matter on a lot of cards for me, but I still advocate getting the cards graded, even if they're 1/1s, because they're now uniform with the rest of the cards in your collection. Denny Cards in the house, everybody. Denny has recently started his own podcast. Check it out. Denny Cards on Instagram as well. Says the triple logo man, definitely a time capsule card. Thank you for the comments, everybody. All right, Adam. Next row. Look at like that Babe Ruth card, you guys. That Babe Ruth card is an absolute stunner. So let's see. Do we think it's accurately graded by PSA as a near mint 7? And do we think that PWCC is right in giving it a eye appeal rating of above average, being in the top 30%? So Adam, we're going to take a quick zoom into this card, and like, this thing is a stunner. Absolutely. Centering left to right looks good. Top to bottom, it's definitely situated, sitting a little bit low, but you know, it's hard to find these things where they're right in the middle of the card. Still looks really nice to me. Little bit of a registration issue, actually. When you look, you can kind of notice it where there's see the bat, there's this white stripe above the bat. That's a sign of the registration issue. You've got some white coming past the blue outline of his sleeve here. You guys see that white right there? That's coming off. So you're getting a bit of a blurry effect on him. You see a little bit over here by his calf right there, his lower leg. But if you that's a detriment. However, the edges, the corners, the centering, the overall, like the surface of this thing, look, it's hard to comment on surface without seeing the card, but I don't see any surface issues, like any surface wear. So I think it's accurately graded by PSA, and I think that PWCC on the top 30%, if they had said top 15, if they had said exceptional or superior, I might have pushed back a bit, but I don't have an issue. I've seen other 7s, and this one is very strong for the grade, so I'm certainly okay with that. But Adam, this card I know you're gonna have more comments on. 97 Skybox Premium Star Rubies, Kobe Bryant, 50 made, PSA 9, mint condition, pop 1 of 2, only 1 in a 10, $75,000, not a rookie year card, but Star Rubies. You guys, before Adam came on, you heard me talk about the Ken Griffey Jr. Star Rubies, which is from 99, which I love. This card, it looks a little funny when you're looking at it here, but you have this thing in hand. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. What did I say? We're sitting at $75,000 right now, which is 90 grand out the door. Like, just congratulations to whoever's going to walk with this card. Adam, speak to this card, because I know it's amazing, and I know you know it's amazing.
Yeah, I could talk about this one for a while, but as always, I'm trying to figure out how to use less words and say as much as I want to. I feel like this card really shows us the best of what the 90s had to offer. Just as we look at it right now, I think it looks incredible. The amoeba pattern in the background is unreal. I love the ruby red that goes, that red rectangle that's the skybox rectangle in the upper right. It's a card that glows. It creates movement in the background. I think Kobe's one of the most, this sounds weird, but Kobe's one of the most photogenic athletes ever. And this is a great image of him. It's something simple as what looks like maybe like a jab step or a step back, and he just looks incredible. The back is cool, but I know that sometimes our internet bandwidth doesn't allow us to do so, but this would be the card of the auction to do in a 360. It's just unreal.
Well, let's do it, and let us lose a bit of bandwidth here. Let's let it load up. So this is the video. This is what causes us the grief right here. So here we have. So let's just do that for a moment. And let's grab it and slow it down. So okay, I'm gonna also just, no, that's not gonna work. Yeah.
weird that we can't
trying to make it bigger, but it's not really going any bigger, you guys. So we're just going to have to keep it right here. Maybe hold on one second. What if we just grab it here? I'll just keep it here. So look at that. Look at that. Like, and the different colors you see, like the yellowy or it looks like fire right there. Looks like a nice sky color right there. Like, this thing is just beautiful.
Jeremy, if I had to say like how my collection breaks down, probably a good 20 to 30% of the value of my collection is Kobe Bryant cards. I consider myself a high-end Kobe collector. But one thing that's funny about me is I don't collect 90s Kobe cards because I kind of feel like he competes with Jordan on those sets. And I like it where I feel like Kobe is the best player in the set, or he represents the best card in the set. So I don't collect a lot of those. This card, I told you this last week, this card like makes me second guess that idea just because I see that card and I'm like, holy crap, it's just an incredible piece of cardboard. It's one of the nicest cards that I think I've seen in the Premier Auction. It's an awesome card.
It is awesome. And the price agrees. This thing isn't cheap. 90 grand out the door right now for this card. We have a Josh Allen National Treasures RPA, a Ricky Patch auto out of 99, pop 13, $40,000. Looks to be a little bit of blue. Is that a 3-color? From here, it looks 2-color. But if we zoom in, this is a legit 3-color patch right there, everybody. But I would definitely call it a weak 3-color, but still a 3-color. Believe it or not, still, it's even kind of a weak 2-color. Well, no, it's got a good chunk of red up here, a little bit down there. You got some stitching, mostly white, of course, but it's hard to do much better on a lot of NFL uniforms when it comes to NTRPAs. On-card autograph, the autograph looks pretty good to me. Little streak right there, but he's got a big long stroke to his to the J and Josh, so you're probably going to come across that quite a bit. Nice card overall. Moving along, Michael Jordan, number pieces from 09 Exquisite. Now, Adam, my first question is, where are those pieces from? Because those do not look to be red, black, or white. They look to be orange and black. What would you know where these pieces are from?
I think it says on the back. I think it's an All-Star jersey.
All-Star. Well, that would make a lot. Look at that autograph. The auto has a 10. The card has been given a grade of authentic, which I don't think there. I don't like to read too much into that, meaning like, oh, it's probably going to grade out of 4. I don't think that's the case. I don't know why it wasn't given a better grade. We'd have to ask the original submitter, but it looks still a beautiful card. Numbered out of only 23. Look at that autograph, though. The autograph is
flawless.
It's amazing. Like, that's just a beautiful autograph. Great looking card.
I like it because it reminds us so much of 03. 03 and 09 are the bookends for Exquisite. We got 7 years of Exquisite, and those are the beginning and the end. And in 09, they reproduced some of the sets throughout the life of Exquisite. And thankfully, for number pieces, they chose the 03 set to model it after. It really is it's a gorgeous card.
Couple of comments here I want to get to. Ken, that's the structure of this auction. It's called extended bidding. It started at 7 o'clock Pacific, and you can see on the ticker right now from 7 till 8 Pacific, 5-minute extension. So every time there's a bid, this clock is going to reset to 5 minutes. And that means a bid on any card in the auction, it's going to reset to 5 minutes. If there's no bid on any card for 5 minutes, all lots end and the auction's over. So that's what's going on there. And you're noticing it's resetting. We're seeing 4:55. That's just a delay from the server and the software to our screen. We see there hasn't been a bid now in the last 12 seconds on any card, but momentarily we'll see this thing go back. There we go, back up to 4:55. So that's what that is. It's how extended bidding works. And that 5 minute is going to go down to 2 minutes here in 45 minutes. It's going to go down to a 2-minute window for half an hour, and then it's going to go down to a 1-minute window. Denny's glad we took a look at the Kobe Bryant Star Rubies. Says a 2.5 color patch on the Josh Allen. I'm going to start using that, Denny. That's really good. Paul says beautiful Jordan. Yeah, no way. Brent, the green Elway PMG is starting to move. We'll get to that soon. Decoy cards. Maybe that MJ is from a Space Jam jersey. He's kidding. And Ken, yeah, No, that's how the auction works, the PWCC Extended. All right, Adam, how about these two cards? The Exquisite Collection scripted swatches, LeBron James, and the Flawless what a gorgeous Luka. You know, I prefer these to National Treasures. The Flawless Luka at a 10.
Yeah, so they're both incredible cards, and they're both game used autographed rookie patches, which is kind of cool. Neither of them are from like the base main set, and so they're not viewed as the true rookie card, which keeps their cost down. But in both cases, you get something that I think is more appealing in that you get a game used jersey. Both of these are game used RPAs. That's something you don't see very often. With the Luka, it's numbered out of 10. You can see there. And this is something I know you and I both love about these flawless vertical cards. You get this great full image of Luka sort of floating through the air, the perfect spot for the autograph. In this case, a fantastic patch and a 9.5 grade. There's not much more you can hope for out of an RPA.
I just want to say, like, when I look at this card, this card reeks of class. Like, this is such a classy looking card. Just how it's simple in how white the background is. The foil around the patch window has a nice design to it. His autograph has there's nothing infringing on the autograph. Of course, as you just mentioned, a full body action shot, the nice font used for the word flawless on the top left, a nice patch on this copy. Like, what a great card. Just a beautiful card. These cards, I'm not as huge of a fan of an autograph on a patch, but it's a simple black patch. That said, this is still a rookie year autograph patch, LeBron James out of 25.
Yeah.
So
a game used rookie patch autograph.
The fact that they're game used, as you mentioned, is super important. I agree as well. Will says the Luka RPA is nice. Personally, hate a lot of the designs where the photo is truncated to make room for the other stuff. Yeah, they didn't do that here. The whole photo is there. No truncation on this flawless card. And Brent says, Will had asked, what do you think the green Elway will go for? He says the last one did around 18 to 21. Hey, we haven't even seen it yet on our screen. All right, Adam, we have a ticket from Tiger Woods' first PGA event. This is a case where the grade of a 6 is like, who cares? The fact that this thing was at his first PGA Tour event, Pop 1, it's a Pop 1, none graded higher. I like how the string is still on it. Like, I don't know that we ever really see that when we're looking at tickets. Look at the string is encapsulated as well. And I like how PSA put it off to the side. This thing isn't hanging over the card itself. I got to say, they did it right this time, how they laid the ticket in this particular slab. So kudos to them. Pretty cool piece, Adam, no?
The thing that I think is an interesting question on this one, Jeremy, and I think we've talked about something similar to this before. What was Tiger's winnings at this first event? Is this ticket going to sell for more than he made by participating in that event? I think it'd be interesting to compare those things.
Yeah, really, that's a pretty good comment right there for sure. LeBron's headrest, I rest my case. Signed in Slab says, do you guys even know how to talk about? Yeah, of course, right? Four strikes and you're out. 3 balls and you go to first base, right? 8 innings. Of course we do. Of course
I sent David the link, and he's already got me regretting that. Like 2 minutes after he jumps on. You're killing me, David.
Welcome to the show, Signed and Slabbed. And Will says, only things I'm bidding on tonight is baseball. I'm fine with us not talking about it. Well, there you go. And we've only seen the Babe Ruth so far, and since we've scrolled down here, I was looking at the Griffey, and of course the Ty Cobb is a beautiful piece. Here, okay, Adam. Here's another. Look at this now. Dual logo man autograph 1 of 1 04 exquisite with Kobe Bryant and Lamar Odom. What can you tell us about this card, Adam?
So I said something earlier that I really want to highlight, and I want to get your thoughts on it, Jeremy. I think we glossed over it pretty quick, but when we see something sell a lot quickly, like many times, can really harm the value and be the best time to buy the thing. right? We've seen so many logo man over the course of the last 3 Premier auctions, like significantly more than normal. I see this Kobe Bryant, and I don't so much notice Lamar Odom right off, but I see the Kobe Bryant and I go, wow, this is actually like a really low, like it's a really low price for a Kobe Bryant true logo man autograph. Again, from the first year of dual logo man autos. Do you have anything like, do you have any thoughts on this idea of like there being a lot of something in a short amount of time and that influencing price and trying to be the person who jumps in when that price is sort of decreased because of the quantity? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, didn't we just talk about that with respect to the Brady?
Well, I feel like I talked about it. Maybe you did. Maybe I just didn't really.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you feel the same?
Listen, here's the problem. Here's the challenge, I should say. We all, I think human psychology, we have a bit of that herd mentality bias in our minds. So when everyone's buying and the price is going up, we're more comfortable to buy at that time. When everything is coming down in value, I think we're less likely to want to buy, because why isn't everyone else buying? And is it going to go down further? And when it's going up in value, you think to yourself, oh my God, it's going up. I got to get it before it goes up even more. I'm going to miss the opportunity. And that goes exactly against what Warren Buffett would advise, right? His saying that we're all familiar with: buy when others are greedy, or sell when others are greedy, and buy when others are, I forget the exact language there, but sell when others are scared.
It's fearful. It's fearful and
fearful.
Yeah.
Right. So buy when others are fearful and sell when others are greedy. And so, but that's a tough emotional, mental hurdle to get over, to be that contrarian and to be able to go against the grain. But if you can, I think it's a much long-term, I think it's a better way to approach things. If you have the stones for it.
Yeah, so, I think you're right. And so when I look at this card, that's what I'm thinking about. I told you earlier in the week, this is a card that I was thinking about bidding on. I unfortunately don't have $40,000 just off the side. I would have to sell a lot of really good cards to get this. But like, as we sit here right now, I am still considering it, just being really real, because I'm a Kobe collector. I would love to have a true logo man autograph of Kobe Bryant in my collection. And this one's, I could buy this, I could make this happen. So I like that the market's at that price now, or at that point where I can sort of think about those things. But as far as the card goes, like, I don't know what more to say other than that it's the second year of Exquisite. It's the first year of dual logo man autos, and it's got one of the most popular players in the history of collecting on it. Like, it's a huge deal.
All right, we have a 1969 Topps Lou Alcindor Kareem Abdul-Jabbar PSA 8 near mint to mint rookie card. PWCC has given us the superior eye appeal rating. That is their highest eye appeal rating. Top 5% of copies that have come across the PWCC desks. Let's see if we agree. And it's going to be tough. I can't say that I've seen, dozens and dozens of PSA 8s, but I have an idea of what a PSA 8 or what a near mint to mint card should look like. Top border, I mean, again, it's tough. It's white, so we may be missing some things from this with this view. But from what I can see, top border looks great. Top corners look great. No issues there at all. Surface-wise, I'm seeing no problems. I'm seeing zero registration issue, which is really nice to see. We're getting to the part where centering is very easy to assess on these cards, and left to right, that looks to be like spot on to me. The width,
which is really rare. It's really rare. That's exactly what you want to see right there.
Right there, the width of the border there versus the width of the border here. I mean, this might, like, there might be a little bit more width right here than here, but at worst, like, this is not 55-45. It's better than that. This may be like 51-49 sort of thing. Centering's great. I'll just leave it at that for now. As we come down, edges continue to look super clean. Bottom edge looks super clean. The corners look great. Let's zoom out. Look at the top to bottom centering. Maybe slightly low. The border up here between his name and the top versus the team and the bottom. Maybe slightly low on the card itself. I mean, listen, definitely at worst, a near mint to mint card 8. As far as the eye appeal rating and the centering, the registration, the only like penalty I can give this card is the centering top to bottom. Is it within the top 5%? Is this like the best one, the top one out of every 20 copies? I'm gonna assume it is. I can't say I've seen enough to verify, but I'm not gonna argue this one. I think it's probably correctly assessed because this is a super clean copy. Adam, what did you think?
I agree with everything you said. When I think about the top to bottom, obviously it matters just a whole lot less than side to side does to me. I think that's probably how most people feel. If you have a hard time assessing it, then I don't think it should penalize the card dramatically. And that's how I feel when I look at this. I probably see it just slightly off, but like, would I hesitate to give that like a 9.5 centering subgrade? I personally wouldn't, because I've seen a ton of these, and left to right, that's, like you pointed out, it's as good as it gets. And it's not, I love your word offensive. Top to bottom doesn't offend me. It just doesn't pull my eyes to it at all. It seems to me about as nice of an example as you could hope to find. It's got kind of everything that you want.
Great card. What's it sitting at right now? We're sitting at $25,000, which is $30,000 out the door for this beautiful Kareem PSA 8. All right, let's keep on going. We'll do some we got to get to the end of this page, Adam. Then we'll do some comments. We've got a Patrick Mahomes Contenders Cracked Ice ticket auto, numbered out of 25, PSA 9, pop 6, 2 graded higher, sitting at $36,000. I don't remember what these were selling for at the peak, but I'm going to guess well into the 6 figures. We also have a Tom Brady Flawless patch auto from 2014. It's in a PSA 10 gem mint holder, pop 1, only 5 copies. Adam, I want to zoom in a little bit and take a look at that autograph. It's a small autograph, but it's pretty darn sweet. Looks really good. The only like lighter part of it is right here at the where he turns the pen around, but I think I'm being pretty picky there. 2-color patch, green hollow foil around the patch window, the logo, the name, Adam, Flawless is easily the nicest brand that Panini makes. I mean, and then Immaculate, I think. Gem Mint 10, beautiful card. I think this is nicer than his Contenders ticket auto. The only difference is that it's not a rookie year card. It's 14 years newer, but isn't it gorgeous?
Yeah, I mean, this is something that we've talked about a lot. I think very few people would say aesthetically the Contenders card can come close to this card. The question there is which is more significant, and that's where the rookie year sort of stuff comes in.
I just noticed 2 beautiful cards got back-to-back bids there. They popped up in the corner, the Kobe and the Griffey credentials. And then we have the 2003 SP Authentic LeBron James rookie auto. This is the limited version, numbered out of 50. Now this, and it's a 9.5 with a 10 auto. My goodness, Adam, like we've often talked about the SP Authentic and the Ultimate rookie for LeBron, the Ultimate out of 250, the SPA out of 500. This trumps both of those because this is the limited parallel out of 50. This card at this price, and I notice we have our friend Rob, the sports card therapist in the house here, commenting on the Lou Alcindor card. One of his big purchases was an Ultimate rookie out of 250. And I'm not trying to say, I know, Rob, a great card, long-term hold, but this seems like a steal of a deal right now at 23,000 plus buyer's premium. Like, what's the story here, Adam? How is this thing not, I want to say, how is it not 6 figures, but that's just where the market is, I guess.
Yeah, the story here is the LeBron market. The LeBron market has taken a historic beating over the course of the last year, but the whole market has. I mean, I'm not trying to pick on LeBron, but he has. LeBron, maybe more than anybody over the last 12 months, has just seen this incredible decrease, which, again, I think those people who have been in the hobby for a long time knew this is what happened at the end for Jordan. It's the exact same thing. You get to the end of the career and it's like, oh, he's not who he was anymore. And the people who were there for sort of like the owning the card to be part of like the experiences that the guy then is going to have, those people sort of sell their cards, and it creates a imbalance in the market where there's not as many people looking to buy. There's more people looking to sell, and you have one of the greatest players of all time and one of his greatest cards not selling as well. But Jeremy, I'm with you. Like this card, the holofoil that's added, because the regular SP is just a base sort of like normal foil. The holofoil that's added on the limited is so nice. It's really pretty. And then the other thing, I don't know if I pointed this out. I think I have. If you look on the see the white sort of triangles on either side of the card, when you want to look at centering, look at how those two triangles, the bottoms like line up. And what you'll notice on this card is a lot of times they're really off, like really off. Once I saw it, I've sort of been unable to unsee it. This is actually about as nice as the centering gets on this card.
Yeah, that's an absolute stunner. Okay, we're actually going to do some comments now because there's a lot of stuff I want to mention here. Ken says, I'm pretty sure it's one collector's Logo Man set being divided up to get the best price. Could be. Brent says, buy when people are lined up to sell and sell when people are lined up to buy. Yeah, that's very logical. It's just hard to do.
Hard to do it, but it's right.
Hard to do. Will says the cream card is one of the hardest cards to grade accurately. Fair enough. Tyler, hello to you. Will CC says, good evening. Is it my imagination or are we seeing less high-end cards hit the market recently? If yes, might be a good sign of health for the hobby. I mean, that's probably the case. It could be that we're in summer. It might also be that we've seen so many of them hit the market lately that they're being gobbled up, hopefully by collectors. This is what we want. This is what we collectors, it might not be what PWCC wants and other auction houses because that's how they make their fees. But as collectors, that's what we like to see for sure. For sure. Rob loves the LeBron rookie autos for sure. Decoy says many big cards take a vacation during the offseason. I think that's a part of it. Brent, I don't like that LeBron is from a lineage of the regular version out of 500. Oh, I love it. I love that. And I think we talked about that, Brent, on the show. It's the same thing as saying like the gold LeBron RPA is out of 23 is from a lineage out of 99. So I like it. I think it's a huge difference maker, and it doesn't look the exact. It's got the nice foil. In any event, signed and slabbed. Why are fewer high-end cards hitting the market for the hobby? Sorry, why are fewer high-end cards hitting the market? Is it good for the hobby health? What's good for the hobby health is actual commerce, not manipulation. Yeah, but listen, if what I just said a few minutes ago is true, and it might not be, but if it is, I think that's a great thing for sure. Brent, I agree with Adam about people's feelings around LeBron now versus in 5 to 10 years. I think people will appreciate him more. I completely agree with this. This is one of the shortcomings or weaknesses of the general hobby is that we're such a what have you done for me lately sort of hobby that a lot of people just don't seem to have the wherewithal to look out and expand their horizon. And those are people that are losing a lot of money when they're buying and selling so quick, especially in a downtrending market for sure. So
let me
agree with that, as did Rob. Anony, well, Brady cards haven't dipped like LeBron. In fact, they have gone up in price. I mean, maybe from last week they have, but I don't know what market you're watching, my friend. Yeah, Anony one. Jesse Craig in the house. What's up with you? Good to see you, Jesse. Welcome to the show, Jesse of PWCC. And Gen Z wants to know, are both you guys going to the National? I certainly am myself. Are you, Adam? Adam says, thumbs up. I am going as well, too. Okay, let's keep on moving through some more cards. We have a Michael Jordan BGS 9.5. Now, this card is only half a point short of being a pristine 10.
Wow.
295s. I believe I'm seeing that right. Let's just make sure I'm not missing that. Yeah, 295s and 210. So if either the corner or the surface were regraded and got a 10, this thing would flip over to being a pristine 10. So, I mean, this thing does look pretty darn nice to me.
And what's a pristine 10 worth, Jeremy?
I was watching something today, some content today, and the comment was that one hasn't been slabbed at 10 since like 2014. Now, wow. I don't know when the last one was sold. This bottom left corner, I just noticed something. Oh, it's just fray. It's just fray coming off the bottom left corner. Now, that might bother some people. I don't mind fray. That might be my O-Pee-Chee roots, but that's all that is right there.
The reason that I ask what's it worth is I think a lot of people have speculated that a 10 Jordan, at least at one point, was over $1 million card. It might still be. I don't know. I have no idea. But it's certainly like, it's a lot. It's a ton of money. I think there's like, do you remember, are there like 6 or 8? There's like a very low number of them in the world. So in this case, 1/2 of one subgrade is costing like literally hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's kind of crazy.
It is kind of crazy. And the fact that this card could potentially be upgraded, if, it could also be downgraded, I suppose.
Downgraded. Yeah.
But it could potentially be upgraded and go from being whatever it's going to, this is probably going to sell for, I would think, like 60, 70 grand, maybe more. I don't know, just because it's so high, the subs are so high. But the fact that could legitimately be worth $900,000 is mind blowing. But it just comes down to scarcity. And I think you just asked how many. Will S says, aren't there only 5 BGS 10 Jordans? We'd have to check the pop. I haven't looked on Beckett's site to see what it is right now, but he could definitely be right. Jesse says BGS 10s are so political. Interesting. What you mean by that, Jesse? I'm not even sure. Brent says Probstein's going to cross off some of his PSA 10s. Jesse says, I had a guy turn down $2 million at the peak for a VGS 10. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that guy might be kicking himself right now. We may never see those numbers again. Or we may.
But he might not be. Like, I mean, that's the Jordan card, and there's so few of them that they never move. Like, that's what I'm saying is, this is what's so weird about our hobby. You just mentioned that little bit of fray, Jeremy. If that little bit of fray is not on that corner, there's a chance that that's a card that is literally worth millions of dollars. Think about what that fray is worth. It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, Adam. Next up, an 06 Exquisite triple logo man, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, 1 of 1. Obviously, one of these things are often 1 of 1s. It's in a BGS. Looks to be, I don't even know what let's have a look at this slab.
It's just an authentic slab.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. It doesn't, do they even put the word authentic on here anywhere? Not that they need to. They slabbed it, which is good enough for me, but card looks pretty nice. You might look at this left edge and say, what's all this? That's just the design. That's in the design. But again, we don't need to focus on the condition. Nothing really sticks out to me as being a problem with the condition of this card. This is all about what you are getting, which are three NBA logo man on one card of 3 of the greatest players, 3 great San Antonio Spurs. Tim Duncan for sure. I won't say, it's missing David Robinson and Wemby, but it's got, I'll turn it over to you, Adam.
Yeah. So this is I'm really, let me say this. I'm really excited to see this card doing as well as it is in the auction, because to me, this is like the Spurs card. These 3 guys won, I think, 4 championships together. Duncan won 5. I think he won the first without the other 2 guys. But like, let me just say what it is. Like, these 3 guys represent this team. And so there's not another, like, this is the pinnacle for these 3 guys. I asked several Spurs fans and collectors, like, is this the best Spurs card in the world? And if it's not, it's like right there. And I think a lot of people feel like it is the best Spurs card in the world. And for me, like, the way that I collect, I want to own cards that real collectors really want to own, not because the card's going to go up or down in value, but because it represents something meaningful. Those 3 guys belong together on a card. They're 3 of the best 80 to 85 players in the history of the NBA. They knew each other like the back of their hands by the end of their careers. They won so much together. They represent not a huge market either, right? Like, San Antonio is not like some huge market. Like, they are the Spurs. And so, I'm not a big logo man guy personally. I'm just being real. Like, I don't own a single card that's a logo man without an autograph in my collection. But when I see that card, I feel something different than, like, even like the triple that we were looking at earlier, Jeremy. Like, those 3 guys, we talked about why they fit together, and I think they do. But these 3 really fit together on this card. And then it's brought all together in the fact that it's exquisite, and it's, the holofoil that's around it. It's an amazing card.
And look at that. It's at $65,000. I mean, that's a healthy number. I feel like that's a healthy number.
Huge. I mean, I think that's one of the most expensive Tim Duncans ever, especially if you exclude like the PMG greens that we've seen sell. It's one of the most expensive Duncan cards ever.
Very nice. We have a box of 97 Metal Universe. This is where precious metal gems come from. $12,500 to try your luck on a box of that. Adam, what do you think this is? Is that a good price right now, 12.5?
I think it's a really good price.
Would you open it?
We always talk about, like, it's kind of cool to think that there could be like a multi-million-dollar card in a box. That's one that actually could have one.
Would you open it?
No, because I can't open wax. I'll never stop if I start. Would you open it?
No, I would not. The Ty Cobb green portrait, PSA 4, above average eye appeal. I looked at this earlier in the show, and I looked at it earlier this week. And I love this card. I really love this card. I think that the grade is conservative. I think the eye appeal rating is even conservative. The centering, the registration, the color. This is a very, very nice card. I should say, we got to open this one up for a sec, Adam. I want to have a look at the back and just see if anything jumps out to me on the back of this card. So let's just give it a moment to load up for us. While we're doing that, Jesse, regarding the Michael Jordan BGS 9.5, he says he still thinks a 10 is 7 figures if the card looks the part, which is definitely an important comment right there. Yeah, the back is nice too. It's off center, left to right, but the front isn't. And I give like 90% of my weighting to the front versus the back. So I think that both PSA and PWCC are conservative in their assessments of this particular card.
Isn't this one of the top cards on your sort of vintage want list?
Close. You're close. The red portrait is.
It's the red. Okay.
The red, because the red is so much more affordable. This is a 22K already. I mean, I don't think it would be. I think it would sell for less if it wasn't so nice. It's not your average 4, but I don't want to buy your average or below average 4. So I will wait for a really nice red, probably a 3 or even a nice 2.
As like a fan of like the history of card collecting, when I see the T206 set, I just like, there's this sort of like, not nostalgia, but there's this like importance, this like love of the history of the hobby. And I think of the Wagner, and then I think of Cobb. I think if I was to put together like a collection that was like random things from the history and importance of the hobby, this card would be really high on the list. I don't collect baseball, but for me, it would be.
For sure. Sports Card Therapist says, I could listen to Adam talk hoops all day. Jesse Craig, and Adam, he'd probably be happy to talk hoops all day to you, Rob. Jesse Craig says that Cobb may be my favorite card in the auction. Well, it's certainly one of my top 6. Jesse, I had 6 cards starred personally that I absolutely loved. He says, such an undervalued card, 1/4 of the price compared to a 52 tops mantle and half the supply graded with PSA. Doesn't make sense.
Interesting.
Except that's where the market is. It's always hard. It's always yeah, I get it. Doesn't make sense, but the market is what the market is. Brent might need a Cobb soon. Jesse says red has twice the supply, which makes it more affordable for somebody like myself. And Sign and Slab says the Cobb bat off shoulder is the best post to me because of the colors. They're all nice. I lean towards the portraits personally, but that is a nice card as well. I can't deny that. All right, is this an original pack, booster pack of Magic the Gathering in a PSA 9 holder for $23,000? I have to think this is the original, but I don't know. I don't know much about Magic at all.
Yeah, I think so. I should know that too, but I would think it has to be. The thing that's really interesting there, Jeremy, is look at that population on those packs. That's the set. That's the alpha set. And so the fact that you've got this set that's like taken over the world, it's been so important. There's only that many packs. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I did 1 of 5 only. That is amazing. All right, moving along. 2016 Bowman Chrome Orange Refractor, Juan Soto, numbered out of 25, BGS 9 on the card, BGS 10 on the autograph. Juan Soto, I can tell you a couple things about him. In his last 5 games, he's got 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. So far this season, he's got 13 homers and 37 RBIs. So not too bad right now. He's got all-star appearances, Silver Sluggers, MVPs. He was voted second for Rookie of the Year in his rookie year. Not a bad player. Gets a ton of love in the hobby. And this is a nice card. On-card autograph as well, Adam. You're not much of a baseball guy. We have a couple in the chat right now, signed in slab, deep value investor guys. Feel free to throw some comments up there if you'd like. Continuing on, Adam, second year Gaudy, Lou Gehrig from the Lou Gehrig set, SGC 7.5, perhaps his most handsome card. I mean, look at that. Look at that mug. Look at that smile. Like, this card is a blazer. The bottom right corner has a bit of rounding. Otherwise, what is wrong with this thing? I mean, the centering isn't perfect, but who cares? Who cares? The registration looks to be off just a bit. I see this white shadow around his cap, insinuating that maybe the yellow plate was positioned a bit to the right. Maybe the yellow and another plate were situated a bit to the right, because Lou Gehrig looks perfect within the yellow. Like, this card is just beautiful. The bottom right corner is like the only problem. Maybe there's a bit of a surface defect right there. Something got into the print, something like that. I'm not sure. But what a gorgeous, gorgeous card. He looks alive. Like, it's just crazy. Well, yeah, great card right there. I don't know what else to say. What do you think, Adam? I mean, listen, you may not be a baseball guy, but you understand history and you understand sports cards.
You've always talked about the 1933 being your favorite of the two. And I feel the same because, well, there's a couple cards from 1933. I feel the same because I like the earlier card and it's an action pose, but I think this is a far superior looking card. I do, because that image of him is really like, that's really striking for being 90 years old. Like, that's a great looking card on great color. And so I think it depends on which elements you're talking about, which you like more. I would probably take a 33 because I like that it's the first one, but on aesthetics alone, I prefer the 34.
I get it totally. I think for me, the 33 with the baby blue background, the batting stance, I just love that card. And I have a 33 Babe Ruth, number 53 with the yellow background. So to have I'd almost rather shake up the colors and have the Gehrig with the blue and put it beside my from the same set, my Babe Ruth number 53 would look great together. Not to say that the Ruth and this Gehrig wouldn't look good together too, the matching yellows, but yeah, I still do prefer I personally prefer the 33, but listen, this is I really like the 33 Gehrig because this card is beautiful as well. All right, Adam, here we have a 07 Exquisite dual jersey swatch, dual auto, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, only 5 copies produced. This is in a BGS 8 holder. Looks like the edges has a grade of 7. I want to open and have a look at that. $21,000 right now. I'm going to turn it over to you, Adam, while I kind of move around the card and have a look. And right away we can see a significant chunk out of the top border right here, top right corner. Corners have an 8. This is that's something that you're going to notice. Top left corner, not perfect. Something going on there on the edge. Bottom corners look fine. Might be that they're white, but I think the biggest issues are this guy right here and this guy right over here. Otherwise, a very nice card. Autographs look really good. It's you kind of wish that Durant might have signed where he was supposed to, and I don't know if that impacts much. But what do you think, Adam?
So the story to me on this card is, we've seen multi autograph cards over the course of the last couple of years gain in popularity. I think there's something that the hobby at large has taken with the idea that like both guys held this same piece of cardboard. So it doesn't exist so much with stickers, but on a card like this, to know that both Kevin Durant and LeBron James held this card, there's not very many of those things in the world. There's a very small subset. In fact, I think it's basically this and a couple of other cards from the rookie year, one of which is actually in this auction. There's 2 duels from these 2 guys. And then there's maybe one more card from like a year or 2 later, but these 2 guys represent a whole era, right? They're the small forwards of the era. They're, in a lot of ways, they're like the best small forwards ever. They're probably the 2 best small forwards ever. Some people are going to go, well, you should put Bird in there. Sometimes Bird played more of a 4. But those are like, that's the list. There's a very short list. They might end up being the 2 all-time leading scorers if Durant can really last. But I look at this card and I think of it as being really important because I like multi-autograph cards. I think these 2 guys really represent the exquisite era. And this is one of the only cards that they both held, that they both touched, that they both signed. And there's only 5 of them. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it is. It is really cool. A couple of comments here. Will S says, I'm a long-term buyer believer in Soto, but not here, not at these prices. He still has a way to correct. Deep Value seems to agree. Soto's still way too expensive for what he is. So thank you for those comments, fellas. Triple V asks, any consideration or preference for the back of the T206s? And for me, when it comes to me and eventually purchasing a Cobb, I kind of go against what is maybe a wiser decision, but I want the one that I know the most, which to me is the sweet cap. That's kind of the back that I would want. And I was talking to Leighton Sheldon about it one time. He says, go for a rare back. It's like, I could, but I don't really, it's not like I want to buy it for the value as much. I just want to own the beautiful card. And for me, that's it. Jesse jumps in and says, broadleaf, if you can find it, one of the rarest backs. I know a guy putting together a whole set of Polar Bear. Signed in Slab says, my generic favorites are Polar Bear, EPDG, and American Beauty. Many of the other uncommon backs can be so rare, the cost is too prohibitive. And yeah, that's why I just want the most common so I can get into it, the nicest copy I can. I care more about the front than I personally do the back. Okay. Thanks for the comments, everybody. Josh Allen, Adam, Josh Allen, Prism Gold 2018 rookie out of 10, PSA 9, pop 3 graded higher. One of his better rookie year cards, right?
We've seen this card sell for a lot, like a ton. So it's sitting far lower than what we've seen it sell for before.
All right, let's go to the next page, guys. Let's see what we got, what's going to come up on the top here. And we are 8 minutes away from the extended bidding window. So it looks like we're in 2-minute windows right now, actually. So we are in the 2-minute window. And I believe that we're going to be coming down to the 1-minute window in about 38 minutes. All right. We have a complete set of 86 Fleer with the stickers, all PSA 9, sitting at $32,000. I mean, the Jordan itself, is that not a $20,000 card? The Jordan itself. So you're getting another 131 cards plus 11 stickers. Talk about getting it all done in one fell swoop. Well, that is not a bad option right there. Jesse says the 1-minute window starts, actually the 1-minute window starts in 7 minutes. So yeah, what I have going on in the ticker must be old and I need to update that. So thank you, Jesse. We will update the ticker for next week. And let's just change that now where you can follow myself, Adam, and Karn, who will be joining us shortly for the last part of the episode. Anyway, that's a pretty cool set. Adam, what do you think?
Well, you mentioned the Jordan base, and it being like the most significant card. The Jordan sticker in a 9 is awesome. And then there's so many other cards that are hard to find in a 9, including that Kareem sticker right there. The team at PWCC did a good job of highlighting some of the key cards and 9s here. So I know I've talked to actually somebody in the chat, David. Oh, look, you made a comment right as I was thinking of him. I've talked to David before about sometimes you can buy a set like this, separate the set out, and really like do pretty well, especially if you're selling at shows and things like that, where you can, help somebody else out who's trying to put together their set. There are times where people will take a set like this, try to find a really good deal on it, separate it all out, and then keep 5 or 10 of the biggest cards in the set and not actually end up spending any money on it because they can sell the rest for so much. And so, if it's a good enough deal, that might be something worth considering.
All right. Well, there we have it. There's an opportunity, perhaps. A 2013 Bowman Chrome Purple Refractor, Aaron Judge, numbered out of 10. It's in a BGS 10 pristine holder, 10 autograph, currently at $34,000. This guy I just saw a picture of him recently out at a restaurant in New York. This guy's a behemoth. Like, he is one big man. But it's Aaron Judge. not much more I can say about Aaron Judge. 2021 flawless duel, Jalen Green, Cade Cunningham, rookie logo man, 101. Not graded, but it does have the MBA authentic review done. Adam, I'm going to turn it over to you. Cade and Jalen, what are your thoughts?
Well, they're two of the young stars in the league. Cade especially has not gotten the chance to play this last year. And so he had such a promising rookie year. It makes you wonder, if he's able to come back and be who I think a lot of people believe that he has the chance to be. A card like this could potentially be really huge. But I love the 75th anniversary logo, man. I think it's really cool looking. Obviously, would love to see some autographs on this card, but that's a great looking card.
It is. It's very nice. $24,000 right now, plus buyer's premium. Here's the Elway green we were talking about a little bit earlier, but let's talk about the Topps Chrome. Steph Curry, rookie, PSA 10. Print run is $9.99. I'm not sure what the population is on a 10 for this card. I'm going to look that up right now for everybody. I'll just go to the app and get that information. But Adam, I mean, listen, Steph Curry, we know who he, to me, like he's, you got Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, Steph. I feel like I can say them all in the same breath. Maybe everybody doesn't agree, but that's okay. I'm a big fan of Steph and how he's kind of really impacted the game overall. The population is 61. 61 is the population of this card. That's pretty low, I feel, Adam. What do you think? Like when I'm comparing to the Jordan PSA 10 at 318 or 320.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if sometimes things in the hobby just don't make sense, right? The thing that in my mind right now that doesn't make sense is you've got Chrome back to 96, right? You've got like Kobe Chrome rookies, and you've got LeBron in 03, and then you've got Steph in 09. Those are like the three big ones, right? The thing that people need to understand when they're sort of comparing the three is that Steph is so much more limited. There's 999 of the card. There's 61, you just said, PSA 10s. Go compare that to LeBron. Go compare that to Kobe. Like, Steph's regular rookie is more along the lines of the refractor rookies of the other guys. And in fact, I think the rookie, like, how many PSA 10 Kobe refractors are there? How many LeBron PSA 10 refractors are there? There's more of those than there are of this card. So I think that the hobby has been really slow to adopt this idea of like which is rarer. Instead, they compare like the refractors to each other and the base cards to each other. And to me, that doesn't make sense. I think you should like realize that the Steph is so much rarer, and I think that the hobby hasn't really done that as much as they should.
One of the factors might be that there are parallels of this card. So there are better versions or lower print run versions. That might have something to do with. I'm just looking up. There's 94 9s and 33 8s.
There's fewer.
Been a total of 219 submissions to PSA. And I'm sure that the 9s and 8s are overstated. You got to think at least some percentage have been cracked and people have tried to get 10s on them. So it's probably even fewer than 94 9s.
I want to comment on your point about the more parallels. If you're just comparing Chrome parallels, there's more LeBron parallels than there are Steph, right? Steph's got the Chrome, the refractor, the gold, and the super. But LeBron's got black and out of 500. He's got the X fractor as well. And so I think there's a lot. I don't actually know that means as much. And I think Steph has far fewer like iconic rookie cards than a guy like LeBron does. So I think this card it holds up as iconic. It's really this and the National Treasures. I personally prefer the Chrome Topps card over the National Treasures just because it's not contingent upon that autograph and that patch. So I guess I should probably put my money where my mouth is and go out and get one of these since I've never even owned one before. But like, to me, with how popular Steph is, and you compare that to like some of the other Chrome rookies, it's just so much rarer. I've always felt like it should be worth more than it is.
Yeah, I'm with you. A couple comments here. Back to the Jordan set. David says, I'm surprised people don't go harder on these for the set breaks. The 86 Fleer set is one of the best for that, as there are probably 12 to 15 winners when doing that. Yeah, makes sense to me. Says the Kobe finest refractor is sneaky rare. Thank you, Ken Summoner. Decoy says player over rarity. There's less Steph fans in either of the two mentioned, so that's a good thing for Steph collectors. Fair enough, but Steph's an all-time great in my mind, so I think that could work its way back. And Ken says there is a reason why you don't have one, Adam. There's a reason why you don't have one, Adam. Utah's on the clock for the pick. There you go, Adam. Utah is on the clock for their pick. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to John Elway and his Precious Metal Gems Green 9097 Metal Universe. This is the green PMG. Just got a bid as we're looking at it. It's up to $23,000. It's in a BGS 8 holder with edges being the weakest subgrade at a 7, pop 2, none graded higher. Let's take a look. And what do we see here? I mean, these edges are exactly what you want. What's wrong with these edges? It must be the back. But usually it's the front on these. Like these edges, I have no issue with them. I don't want perfect edges on my PMGs. No. The corners get an 8. The corners look worse to me than the edges do. I mean, if it's all about this right here, yeah, okay, fine. But that's what you want. You know, you want to see some of this. At least I feel. Call me crazy. I do. Top corners, they got some white showing. I prefer they were green all the way. You got some edging there. So it is what it is. But this is exactly what you want, I think, when you're buying a PMG. If these edges were any better, you'd have fear that you'd be fearful that they were trimmed along the way somewhere. So I love the card. It's not the prettiest PMG, Adam, in terms of just like kind of looks like he had a few cheeseburgers for lunch that day. You know, it's not the most beautiful picture, I would say, but a great card nonetheless. Keeps on getting bids. It's up to 25.5 now.
Well, it might be the best John Elway card in existence, right? I mean, there's 15 of them. It's from the era of the most beloved inserts. And Brent says, yeah, Elway is going to set a record. I don't know what the record is for an Elway card, but I would think that this would probably be one of those cards that would be in the running. I personally just love the colors. The green and the orange right next to each other is just really cool. And yeah, an 8 grade, the edges and corners, I just don't really care. But for the elite John Elway collector or the elite big time 90s in parallel or insert collector, this is just a great once in a who knows how long type card.
Yeah, it is a great card. It is a great card. All right, Adam, this card, we have a lot of history with this card right here. The 03. Guys, we are in 1 minute extended bidding now, by the way. So if a minute goes by and there's no bids, this auction will end. I just noticed the Shaquille Molten Metal Fusion Titanium just went up to like over $12,000. Sorry, maybe that even said 16 or 18 grand. I don't remember, but it was at $92.50 when we started. But back to this one, Adam. Let's open this card up. This is the 03 Ultimate Collection limited version LeBron James out of 25. BGS 7.5, but let's have a look. On card auto and a nice 3-color patch in there. Numbered, is that 1 of 25? I can't quite read what that.
Yeah, it is. It is
numbered 1 of 25. Like Adam, you know that we love this card. We love the full body action shot. He is about to slam a dunk. On card auto. But the 3-color patch, we've seen some all white patches here. We've seen a couple of more colors. Over to you, buddy.
It's my favorite LeBron RPA. Some people will immediately point out the longer autograph on the exquisite being like really a nice part of what makes the exquisite card have such a great appeal. And I hear that, but the full image of LeBron floating through the air, in this case, as you point out, the 3-color patch, you get the holofoil on it. And then in this case, it's also the first of the 25. I told you, Jeremy, last week that this is one that I was really interested to see how well it would do because, look, I've never been a LeBron. I've never been a guy who's looking for a LeBron rookie. I'm now in the market for a big LeBron rookie. And the reason is because the market's come down and I want to have that card for the next 5, 10, 15 years. This is exactly the sort of card that I want. But unfortunately, it's gotten too expensive for me. I've never spent that much money on a card before and I can't afford it. But yeah, I still think it's a great buy. And so, Jeremy, the question I would ask you is, what if this card was one of the 99 exquisite cards. It would be 4 times more plentiful. And if it had that same quality autograph and patch and grade, you're talking about a $300,000 card. Like, what would you rather have of those two things, especially given the price? To me, it's not even close. I would take this card.
Ooh, that's tough, though. That is tough because the exquisite LeBron rookie is like among the most important cards in the history of the hobby.
Yeah. Remember I said, looking at the price, like
I know.
You're paying a fraction of the price for okay, let me ask another question. Which is a better looking card, do you think?
Oh gosh. I mean, I love it's the exquisite design. I do love it. But this is the other. Listen, I do prefer vertical cards to horizontal, kind of just as a rule.
Fair. That's fair.
As a personal, preference rule. So I might lean towards the exquisite, but I might just be so brainwashed by it being exquisite, and not being. I also love Ultimate Collection, so yeah, maybe I would take this one because I would be ahead by $250,000, and I could easily spend that on some other cards I'd love to have. So, but I hear your point. Look at this. Elway's up to 29.5. Brent here told us that the record was 21.3 that he could see for a green Elway, and that was a PSA 8. And when I think about the record for a PMG, I don't care about the grade. They're all lumped together, especially the greens for me. But Ken Sumner says, I think he says this LeBron is a beautiful card for sure. Jason Puck, another comparison chart. I don't understand the context of that comment. Do you, Adam?
No.
Jesse says that Ultimate is undervalued. It's sold quite a bit the past 18 months, but outside of that, pretty much a ghost. Yeah, I think I remember you saying, Adam, when we first saw it, you're like, you never see this card. There's only 25 of them, which makes it 4 times as rare as the exquisite. So that is also in its favor.
Yeah, that's the story. And so based on the actual like quantity, it compares more appropriately to the 1 out of 23. And that's a whole bunch more money. So again, I know that it's more recognizable. I know that it's more important from a historical context, but like, I like the idea of getting something that's rare, that's good looking, that's got all the other aspects. And so for me, this card really has it. And that's why I'm kind of disappointed it's gone as high as it has. But I think that it's right. I honestly think it should be worth a lot more compared to a lot of other things. It's just, I kind of wanted a chance at it. It's too high for me now.
Okay, I'm watching this this Elway, and it just keeps on getting bids. We were at 29 when you started talking. We're at 32,000 now. And I of course noticed the Shaquille Molten Metal Fusion Titanium up to 19,500, I believe, is what that one said. So Brent here does say love the LeBron, but just bought a couple recently. And damn, all right, I'm out on Shaq now, bidding strong for the cards you want. Oh, sorry to hear you're outbid, but that's what happens sometimes for sure. Speaking of the Shaq, there it is. The Molten Metal Fusion Titanium PSA 8 is at 19.5. Probably my second favorite card. It's in my top 3 in this auction tonight. Love the card. Numbered out of 40. One of the coolest things about these cards is the die cut. Of course, you've got the laser die cut here to give you the image of Shaq's face. Also, the way his name is also die cut, and this right here, 16 of 40 die cut. I just think that's so cool, and I much prefer these gold versions to the silvery pewter looking versions out of 250. Great card. This is one that I would love to buy and add to my Shaq collection, but I'm certainly out at that price. Adam, we have a Peyton Manning 98 precious metal gems PSA 10. Now the Jordan of this card is, I believe, your favorite card in the hobby, I think, or at least one of your favorite. If not,
it's my most valuable card for sure. I own a Jordan. It's my most valuable. I wouldn't say it's it's really high on the list though. Yeah, you're right.
But maybe it's your number. When you do your top 100 countdown, which you're in the middle of right now, that'll be the number 1 card. And wouldn't it, listen, Peyton Manning, okay, he's no Tom Brady, but he's up there in like the Brady Montana Manning. I'm not talking Mahomes or any of these other young guys. They haven't earned it yet. Mahomes is obviously the closest, and we're not going to go back further in time. to the guys that preceded those three, Joe Montana, guys that came in before then, like the Bradshaws and those kind of guys. But this is a great card. And if you collected more than just basketball, wouldn't you want to pair this with your Jordan?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right.
Especially because it's the first set that was done for all. It was the first metal PMG set that was done for all three of the big sports. Not trying to exclude hockey, but like we didn't get a PMG green and red in baseball. We did get the Metal Universe Championship in basketball look throughout the other two sports.
Yeah. All right. 2003 Ultimate Signatures LeBron Rookie Year Auto card. The card is a PSA 10. The auto gets a 10 from PSA. Pop 6. $14,750 right now. Let's take a little bit of a look at that autograph and see if we agree with PSA's assessment. And oh yeah, that thing is a absolute stunner of an autograph. What a gorgeous card too. I like Ultimate Collection's always been beautiful. 06-07 hockey, maybe the weak year from a design perspective. But Adam, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think you said it really well. I've never been a fan of the autograph of a player that's not like connected to the rookie card. So this is like an insert set. That to me is not as appealing as like a parallel of the regular rookie card and just being real. But I think you're spot on the aesthetics of this card, and the autograph's phenomenal.
And I'm just gonna say I'm the other way. To me, I am giving personally so much more credence to the RY designation relative to the RC designation. Now, I know the RC designation is where all the money is, and that's where we're all so hypnotized by rookie cards. But I'm okay with rookie year cards. They came out of the same packs at the same time. Yeah, they have some wonky numbering on the back. They're LJ-A versus number 180 or whatever it might otherwise be. But these are still rookie year autos. He signed them in the same sitting that he signed all the other cards in. So and listen, I respect your approach, Adam. I have recently, and this is a recent shift in my collecting, I almost way prefer RY cards over RC cards because they're so much more creative and they did so many different things with them. And so I love that sort of approach, and it's really where my collecting is going.
You said something earlier that I really liked. You said, I can't even remember what card we were talking about, but you talked about how you maybe had been hypnotized by what you'd learned in the hobby over the years.
The exquisite LeBron.
I thought that was a really smart thing to say, because we probably all have these like blind spots where we do things because of how they've been done and how we've been taught. And if we were to really sit down and ask, okay, but why is that the way that it is? Maybe we would end up in a different spot. I guess the reason that I feel what I just said is I like that there's like a rookie card and there's like a derivation of that. There's like a, it's not the rookie, but it's like something that is really like, it really like branches off because of that rookie card. But that might be, like you were saying, that might just be because I've sort of been brainwashed into it. The fact is, this is signed in the same group, like you said. It's from the same year, and it's way less money. And if those are the things that matter to you, then go save your money and get the same thing for a lot less.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe I'm bringing you over to my side of things when it comes to that. Couple of comments here. Junkwax Pack says, do you prefer the LeBron James Ultimate out of 25 or the SP Authentic Limited out of 50? I love this question, first of all, Adam. I love this question, Junkwax Packs. Thank you for asking it. And in this case, I'm going to go with the Ultimate out of 25 because you have the 3-color patch as well. But yeah, that's where I land on that. Now, is that patch game worn, Adam, or is that photo shoot?
I believe it's photo shoot.
In which case I might, but it's still it's still a beautiful card. It's still out of 25 versus 50. It's horizontal. I prefer the vertical.
That's right.
Both. I like both. Like, I don't know. That's a tough one. What do you think?
The autograph on the Ultimate's better by quite a bit. That's another factor. I would say this. I would say everything you just said is true. And the difference between 25 and 50 in our hobby is huge. It's so huge. So for me, I would go with the Ultimate, but I would also go as far to say those might be the two most likely LeBron autographed rookie cards that I'll buy at some point. Like at one point, I'll get one of those 2 cards for my collection.
All right.
I
Quick
like
discussion here about Peyton Manning. Anani says it's Brady or bust. Peyton who? Signed in Slab says Manning is so cheap compared to Brady. I think there's good value there based on expectation. He will continue to be around and doing various media, etc. I do agree with that. I think that's a key point there from David. Vintage Collector says the Manning and Moss PMGs would be so much better if in NFL jerseys. I agree. The college uniforms don't do it for me. I agree. Tom Newman, thank you for the tip for the host. Vintage Collector says, I've heard Manning is undervalued for so long, especially relative to Brady. It's not going to change. Brady is in a class of his own. So I think there's 2 things that we're mixing together. I think both can be true here. I think that Manning can be undervalued, but I also think that Brady is in a class of his own. So just my thoughts on that. But great. I think it's a great comment there. So thank you both for those. And thank you again for Tom Newman for the $9.99 super sticker. All right, Adam, let's keep on moving. Speaking of Peyton Manning, here is his rookie contenders autograph ticket. Now, this one is out of 200. It's a BGS 8.5, and it's at $32,000. None graded higher, by the way. Autograph gets a 10. This is one of those places where I have felt for a while that this card is undervalued relative to Tom Brady. Not that it should be priced with Tom Brady, but if Tom Brady is the top at 100, where does Peyton Manning rank? Like, should he be at 80% or 60 or 50? Or in this case, basically at like 20%. And I did factor in the fact that there's twice as many of them.
We got to talk about this card because it's not actually the regular rookie card. So can you click on this one, Jeremy?
Go into it?
Yeah, just so we can see the card up a little bit closer.
Can I do it the other way then?
Just if we could see the back of the card is what I'd love to be able to see.
Oh, the back. Okay.
So this is one that I wanted to do some research on because it was something that I didn't know a lot about. You can see on the slab, it says registered exchange. This is like one of the most unique sort of programs that I think that I've ever heard of. And I didn't know anything about it until I researched it. And so basically what happened is in this year that the card came out, Contenders did a promotion, and the promotion is called the Registered Exchange Promotion. And what that meant was for any collector that put together the complete set of any of the 3 Contenders set, there's 3 different sets, the leathers, the tickets, and the pennants. If you put together any one of those 3 and you sent them back into playoff by a certain date, that they would take your cards and they would stamp your cards as part of the registered exchange. And so if you look at the back of the card, you're going to see a stamp sort of towards the center of the card, and it's a big foil number 4. That means that this was the 4th registered exchange set that was produced by, or that was stamped by Contender. So it's one of the 200. It's just one of the 200 cards, but then Playoff is the one who stamped it. Jeremy, they only stamped 8 sets. There are only 8 registered exchange sets in existence. This is the best card from the set, obviously being Peyton Manning. The card never comes up for auction. It's one of 2 graded. And to me, like, I don't know how you're going to feel about this, but you already know how I'm going to feel about this. Like, I love rarity, and I love that this is like maybe the only case that I can think of where the card gets to the collector and then has to come back to the company and then sort of become something else because it's been stamped as part of this promotion. And there's only 8 of them in the world. Like, I'm in love with this card. This is my favorite football card in the auction by far.
Okay, well, thank you for all that. Is some great information. I was not aware of that. I didn't know that this was that. I didn't even realize it was the registered exchange. What amazing information, Adam. You bring so much value to the show with stuff like that. But now I'm going to do my thing for a moment, and we're going to get into this card a little bit. So, a couple of things. The grade of an 8.5. I'm noticing some things that I don't like about this card. Edges got an 8.5. You got this, like, as opposed to a PMG where you kind of don't mind this. You've got this guy here, a pretty wide scratch on the blue surface there. We can't really tell what's going on the white border. Top left corner has some issues. So listen, the corner's got an 8.5. The edges got an 8.5. That might be the right grade. This left edge looks to be, it's the way it's supposed to be. You've got this bit of an edge issue over here. Not too bad over there. I think the big one was at the top. But what really bothers me about the slab is the 10 autograph. And I noticed this, and I looked into the comments, and I saw, I think David made the same comment. He says that Manning auto is not a 10. Great job, Beckett. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they have a standard that says that this is a 10, but I don't like the auto on this card, Adam. Personally, there's some weirdness going on here. Like the pen got stuck or he went over it twice. Very streaky. Like, look at the M. Like, this is not a pretty autograph. Like, I take issue with this. What's
the slab number?
000581.
Yeah, so it was graded like 18 years ago. That's why it wouldn't be let's be real, it wouldn't be a 10 autograph today.
Yeah, maybe the autograph grading standards have changed. I don't think this is fading. Like, this looks to be the way the ink was laid down. I'm no handwriting expert or ink expert, but maybe the standards were that if all the auto is on the card, regardless of how the marker performed or the Sharpie performed, you got a 10. If that's the case, then this is a 10 according to those standards. But yeah, I don't think that this would hold up anymore. And I think a lot of collectors will take issue with that autograph. All that said, as you said, there's only like 8 of these.
8. There's 8 of them in the world.
So you got to look past it, and I think people will. If you're bidding on this card, you're probably looking at the autograph, and I hope you are.
The thing. So again, this is my favorite football card in the auction. I said that kind of like at the end of my thing. Like, this is one of my favorite cards in the auction because it represents something that is both important, being from the rookie year, and then that it's not like you never see it. When we're saying there's 8, we're not saying Beckett's graded 8. We're saying 8 were stamped. Like, there's 8 of these cards in the world. The other thing, Jeremy, that's kind of cool is, you know what that means about the other 200? It means there's only 192 of those, right? Like, we always say the Manning contenders, there's 200. No, there's 200 less 8. There's 192 of them.
Yeah, it's something, but it's not that significant, but it's definitely something. Tyler would be all over it if he had the moolah. Vintage card collectors, his autos on the 9-day contenders fade pretty bad. Wonder what they look like down the road. Tom Newman said there's less than 10 of those, Manning. The edges don't matter. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that, Tom Newman. Will S says auto grades are totally worthless. I lean that way myself. I'm not a big fan of the auto grade, but the market awards it quite handsomely a lot of times. That's a good opportunity for arbitrage in this hobby. Buying a high graded card without the autograph grade that you think can grade a 10. There are people out there who will pay you for that. So take advantage while you can. Brent says was graded a decade ago. You said 18 years ago. That's even longer. Signed in Slab says it does look like it could be partially traced. Maybe, but it could have also been partially traced by Peyton Manning himself. Although would he have done that, or would he have just does he care enough?
Maybe. We've seen athletes do that. There's no way to know.
All right, let's move along, though. We have a 2000 Contenders factory sealed box. So this is where the Brady could come from. Is at $18,000. This is a great box, right? I mean, listen, for what it is, this is a great box of cards similar to the 97 Metal Universe basketball we saw earlier in the auction. What a nice pair of unopened hobby boxes you could buy here tonight if you have the cash for this. Any comments on this one?
No, I think it's a rare opportunity to box like that, but very cool.
Yeah, and it's the Kurt Warner box too. I mean, how cool is that? That was the hot guy back then. 2007, you mentioned there were 2 of these in the auction, or 2 dual auto mem cards of LeBron and KD. Here's the second one, also in an authentic Beckett slab. This is numbered out of 5. Same with the last one we saw, I believe.
Yes.
This one, though, it's nicer. Like, those patches are both multicolor. The autographs are okay. I mean, KD, something going on right there. I don't know if that's ink or if that's just like game worn marking on the jersey. LeBron skipped a bit down over here as he was going over some thread, so that's normal. But Adam, look at that top left corner, has a ding out of it right there. There's edging issues. But again, this card is out of 5. Like, a lot of people just don't care about the condition. You don't want this thing driven over. But what are your thoughts on this piece, Adam?
You remember that we were looking at the other one, that it was in the authentic holder too. My guess is that the person who owned this one probably owned the other one. I don't know that, but I would guess they probably owned both of them, because there was a period in time where we really viewed Durant and LeBron as like the two players of the era. Steph has sort of supplanted Katie in some of those ways, but as far as the exquisite era, as I referred to earlier, these are the two guys. There's only a few dual autographs, and so throughout the years, they've had a lot of hype around them. I personally like this one a lot more because I know how you feel about the autographs on the patches. I don't mind that, and I love seeing Durant in that with that Seattle Supersonic fabric, because he only played there for a year, so that it was from the rookie photo shoot or from a jersey he wore like actually during his rookie year, and that's pretty neat.
I do love the Sonics colors. I think it is quite nice. I just saw the Shaq Molten Metal Fusion Titanium is now up to 20,000 plus buyers premium. All right, here we have the finest gold refractor with coating, Kobe Bryant, PSA 10, $24,000. I feel like this card was a $100,000 card a couple of years ago, close to it. What I do like about this particular, because I'm a film off or a coating off kind of collector. Not that I would take it off, but in this particular case, the words on the film are beautifully placed on this copy of the card. Look at the symmetry, and the whole image of him is unencumbered by black lettered words over his face, or you see some over the basketball there, which I don't love, but this might be the nicest film I've ever seen on a card. And this card itself is just beautiful, film on or film off. I think David is talking about this. This is the sneaky tough one I think he mentioned earlier, Pop 19. Thanks for the population on that, Dave. Yeah, Adam, what are your thoughts? I just want to see, did PWCC call it the population? They didn't. I'm going to confirm that. Not that I don't trust David, but I just want to see for myself. When I think I
looked it up earlier this week, and I think that David's right. The thing that's kind of cool. The thing that's kind of cool is that PSA actually delineates between the peel on and the peel off population. I love that. I kind of think Beckett doesn't do that. I think Beckett puts them all in one bucket, which I think is a mistake. But your comments, Jeremy, about where the words were, you took it right out of my mouth. You basically couldn't ask for better placement than that. And to me, that's one of the things that I actually really like about the peel too, is that it almost adds like a separate subgrade. Like you want the words in a certain place. It's almost like centering or something. And yeah, this is about as nice of a copy as that you could hope for, especially because the centering on this one, as you know, is often terrible, but this one looks really nice.
It does. It sure does. So I'm looking at the population because I want to see the one without the coating. So the refractor with coating, without coating, is a Pop 28. So this is 19. Without is 28. That's a total of 47. So and that to me, like, it's really important. I like what you said, Adam. I like the PSA it does have separate pops for both, but I do want to know the combined. To me, that is also an important number. It's actually more important to know the combined versus just the one. That to me I really would be curious about that if I was a buyer on this card here. The Johnny Moore, the most expensive base card in the hobby, or common base card in the hobby. I think there's another one, the Malone. I forget what's his name? Malone. Jeff Malone. Thank you. The Jeff Malone, I think, has maybe risen, but Johnny Moore is a less known player than Jeff Malone, at least for me. So, but here we go. This is for the set collectors, for the registry collectors. 19.5 right now on that, and this is a pretty nice Walter Johnson portrait. I do love this, because you don't see a lot of yellow portraits in big, real, Honus Wagner's orange, Cobb is green and red. Walter Johnson, Christy Mathewson, I can't remember the color of his card, but this is a beautiful Walter Johnson. Superior eye appeal on a PSA 6. Top 5% of the eye of the population of sixes that PWCC has seen. Let's just take a quick look at this. Oh my gosh, yeah, like look at this. this thing is a absolute stunner. The centering is like perfect, top and bottom. There must be something on the back to keep this thing from being graded higher than a 6. Wow. I'm pretty much in awe of the beauty of this card. And based on that, I mean, I can't say anything against PWCC giving it their superior eye appeal rating. This is a beautiful card. Adam, any comments on this before we go to some comments from the chat?
No, I love your comments. Beautiful card.
All right. So David here says, I don't think Beckett gives an auto grade any longer unless it's a 10. I feel like I heard that as well.
It's true.
Crack and Peel says decoy cards. Yeah, that takes some bravado for sure. Tom Newman said, didn't know the coding was different. Yeah, because they just put it on the sheet, right? And where it lands, it lands. Tyler, no film. Just say no. I hear you on that, Tyler. David said, yes, they separate, although it's not perfect because they didn't with the early ones. I think he's talking about the film.
Yeah.
Brent says, hobby feels pretty strong from what I am seeing. Great cards are really strong still. Yeah, the hobby's still strong. It's not as strong as it was 2 years ago. But they add it when the card like these get reholdered. I don't know what he's getting at there. So, I think he must be talking about the film or no film. Signed and slabbed again. David says Johnny Moore, hobby urban myth. Yeah, this is one where I can't support. I don't support this card. But then again, I'm not a PSA 10 set collector, the 86 Fleer set, and there's just so few of them that and that I would expect PWCC. I would advise them to put the population here because that's really the only thing driving the value of this card is the population. I'm surprised they don't have it there right now. David advises the Mathewson is kind of orangey yellow. So thank you for that. Carlos says it's a beautiful card, loves historical stuff like that. And I don't know anything about baseball. Yeah, well, hockey guy. Me too. I love my hockey. I love it all, but very fair. Carlos says that belongs in a museum for sure. All right, Adam. Devin Booker. We haven't seen a lot of Devin Booker in the Premier Auction historically. And by the way, Adam, you mentioned earlier, this is the 28th time we've done the Premier Auction. 28 months we've been going strong. Maybe we missed 1 month, or actually I shouldn't say. I think is there a month where PWCC hasn't had a Premier? Maybe back at Christmas a couple of years ago. In any event, we've been going for a while, and I don't ever remember seeing Devin Booker in it. But here's a 2015 National Treasures RPA at a 99, the simple version, and it's in a BGS 9 holder. Adam, speak to Devin Booker.
So Devin Booker was just joined by Brad Beal in the backcourt along with Kevin Durant for the Phoenix Suns. And when you add both those guys to a big guy and DeAndre Ayton, that's a team that's going to be one of Vegas's favorites to win the championship this year. And nobody has more to gain or lose on that team in terms of how they're viewed in the NBA and how they're viewed in the hobby than Devin Booker. This is his National Treasures rookie. It's the same as like you think about Giannis's National Treasures or Luka's. Like it's his biggest rookie card. The thing that I'll tell you about this one that I've noticed is that there's a lot of the patches that are like, I don't know if you'd say it's trim, but the patches look really similar. This is one of the better patches that you'll see on this card. Obviously, the autograph looks great too. Devin Booker's just got a great autograph. And so a 9 on this card is pretty high. But I would be interested in this card as somebody who is speculating on Phoenix going and winning the championship. And I think they've got as good a chance as anybody to go win the championship from the West. Them and the Nuggets will be the two favorites for sure.
Well, I mean, listen, I would not buy a card based on them maybe winning a championship. Wasn't it but
a lot of people do. A lot of people do.
What I know. What team did KD go to before he went to this one? The New Jersey,
Brooklyn,
the Brooklyn Nets, right? And wasn't that a super team? They had 3 huge guys.
Yep.
What happened there? Nothing. Did not come close to winning a championship.
Yep, you couldn't be more right. And so, but the Booker's like awesome. Like he scored 40 a couple times against the Nuggets in the playoff. Like he's freaking. He might be the best 2-guard in the league right now. He's awesome. So, but he hasn't gotten the love because he hasn't had that great playoff success. I know they went to the finals a couple of years ago, but he needs a championship. He needs to go deep. And right now his stock is down because They were supposed to go further in the playoffs, and then they lost in the second round. But who'd they lose to? The eventual champs.
And we're a very what have you done for me lately
Yes.
hobby. The other thing I want to point out on this card is it is 0.5 away from being a gem mint 9.5. Now, the weaknesses or the corners, I should say, if corners or edges could get a bump, this thing would be a 9.5. I don't think that would happen. I'm just looking at this corner up here. I'm looking at the edges up here. I don't think this is going to this would get a bump. So I wouldn't take that gamble if I were you. I'd almost rather gamble that he wins his championship next year versus this card getting a bump. But it's still interesting that he is half away from being a 9.5, or that card is half a point away from being a 9.5. Adam, next up, another dual exquisite logo man autograph. We have Jason Williams and Pau Gasol. It's a BGS 8. I'm going to open it up and let you speak to the importance of this card.
Okay, so I'm going to maybe surprise some people because everybody knows who Pau is, and everybody knows that he's, first bout Hall of Famer. Eventually, Kobe's sort of Robin. But the story to me here is actually the Jason Williams. Jason Williams is one of the most collected people in the basketball hobby that people don't know about. The rare Jason Williams stuff does shocking prices, and so this right now is significantly less than I would guess. But the question that I'm asking is that, like, I see Jason Williams big cards that for other stars might sell for 50. Jason Williams might sell for 500 or for 300. But is there a market for like the super high end Jason Williams? Because this is one of his best cards in existence. So is there somebody out there who's like, I want to go pay 20 grand for a Jason Williams card? This is like where we find out if that's a thing. And I don't know if it's a thing, but yeah, that pair is something. They're two of the best known Grizzlies ever.
Doesn't look like it right now. It's not even halfway to 20. So
not even halfway. Yeah.
Not yet, but we will see. And then this is an interesting card. These 2008 PMGs, Michael Jordan. This is the green, only 10 copies made. Pop 7. It's a BGS 9, none graded higher. Now, if this is from 08. If this card was 11 years older, this would be still today, I'm guessing, $1.5 to $3 million card for his 97 version, somewhere in that wide range. This guy you can have for the bargain basement price of $14,000 times 1.2. Now, it's a funny-ish looking card, isn't it? And these don't get the love that the original PMGs do. But Adam, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I agree with Thomas Newman. I'm surprised that it isn't more. We saw a LeBron sell fairly recently for a similar price to this. I remember when they were each getting close to six figures. There are only 2 Jordan Green NBA licensed PMGs. This is one of them. There's 20 total cards in the world. And again, for me, with where the market has gone, I look at a card like this. It's not a card that I ever wanted to collect. I don't think it's aesthetically pleasing. I don't think it's not a playing days card. There's a lot of negatives that go with it. But because of how high it got, I look at it where it is now and I'm like, man, that's a good buy.
Seems like a steal at 14 grand.
It does.
Or 16.8 even. Anony says, funny looking card. I do agree. It is a funny looking card. Yankees fan earlier said, love the Walter Johnson. David says, Kuntz and Adam Rowe are still holding a pile of bookers. Give it time. They'll show up, especially if they make the finals again. There's some
David brings
information right there.
We need David in the chat every month. He's spot on.
Adam, David, not that you need it, but always welcome in the chat. Please be here. Tyler says Booker's a gamer, needs to bump his 3-point shooting. He's a killer. Very good, very good. Tyler says on a night when I don't know who do you know who aim? I don't know how to say it even.
Yeah, they went 4 and 5 in the draft. 2 brothers, identical twin brothers. Amin went 4 and Osser went 5.
Amin and Osser Thompson. Very good. Congrats to them. Went back to back. Pau and Mark were the best brothers of all time.
Is that true? That's true. I think that's definitely true.
The photo of Jordan looks so weird. Yeah, it is a weird photo of him right here on the green, but still can't deny what that card is. All right. Immaculate Collection. Gold Tom Brady patch auto out of 10. 5 copies made. Is that an on-card auto? That is an on-card auto. Ooh. Really nice looking card.
This, Jeremy, if this was vertical, would this give Flawless a run for its money in your mind?
There's something. Is this foil or is that just?
Yes,
That's
it's foil. It's really nice foil too. Look at
Adam. It gives it a run for its money, even though it's not vertical. Like I prefer a vertical card, but there are definitely horizontal cards I prefer to some vertical cards.
And the patch on this one is better than the average patch on that floss. I think if you'd put this in the 360, you may decide that this is even a nicer card than the Flawless.
I may. This is a great card. What was it at 12K? I mean, yeah, like this is a beautiful, beautiful card. Yeah.
Are you gonna 360 it?
No.
Fine.
No, it just slows us down. Okay, next up, a Giannis Antetokounmpo 2013 Panini Spectra 1/1 sticker auto BGS 9. What is this Adidas? Is that a picture? Or is that a like a manufactured patch, or
no,
is that an actual from a jersey, or what is that?
It's a player worn patch. And okay. So Spectra, I know this because I had the Rudy Gobert of this card. Spectra did a 1/1 set with like these premium patches, and so that's how it turned out. But the story here, and I love this part of the story, Giannis shortened his autograph later in his rookie year, and so his best autographs are on sticker autos. And so I think most of us still probably prefer the autograph being on the card, but I think there is something to like getting a much nicer autograph on a card. And in this case, it's a 1/1 from his rookie year, but it's from a brand that people aren't totally in love with. But Giannis doesn't have a lot of stuff like that. So I think it's a really cool opportunity. This one is
13 letters in his last name. He managed to miss about 7 of them here, but hey, it's still his biggest auto ever. So, and I guess if my last name was Antetokounmpo, I probably wouldn't spell it out in its entirety as well. And then finally on this row, a Jason Tatum Contenders cracked ice ticket auto about a 25 PSA 10, $16,500. I do like these cards. I like that on these Contenders ticket autos, they gave a place for the auto, at least this year. Really nice card. I'm in the minority. I like Tatum. I like his game. I think people might like his game, just don't like his attitude. What do you think of this card, Adam?
Well, I love cracked ice. I think, we've talked about it before. It's one of the most underrated aesthetics. It's another one that I would recommend you throw in the 360 to anybody who's looking, because especially in the PSA holder, it's just beautiful. And you talked about earlier buying low, buying while somebody's sort of not being viewed in their best light. Like the Celtics went out earlier than people thought they would, after almost pulling out the first ever 0-3 deficit in the conference finals. Tatum stuff is a better price today than it was a couple of months ago, and he's still one of the faces of the NBA.
Thank you for the comments. And then the final row of this page, we've got another Devin Booker. Look at that. This is the NTRPA out of 99, PSA 9. Is that the same? Isn't this the same card we just saw? Just a different? No, what's different?
Well, it's the different. Sorry, it is the same card. It's just a different one.
Yeah, different copy, but the same card. So we spoke. I do like the patch on this. Let's just go find that last one. Where is it? It's on there it is. So here's this was a BGS 9. It's at 6,500, and the PSA 9 with the 10 auto is at 65. I do prefer this copy of the card personally. What about you?
So I like the other patch more, and the reason is there's a lot more of the one that you're looking at down there. There's a lot more patches that look like that than have like the actual stitching. But I do get what you're saying, because it's got like the stripe. It just looks really cool. But since I've seen so many more of these than I have of the other ones, and maybe that's just me, it's not like I've really studied them. I think I prefer the other one.
All right. We had the Shaq earlier on in the night that's up to 20,000. Now we have the Scottie Pippen Molten Metal Fusion Titanium. It's a PSA 7. The Shaq is an 8, I believe. Numbered out of 40. Die cut out of 40. Beautiful. These are very nice cards. I have to say, I like them more than I did 6 months ago. $7,125. Anything you'd like to say about this one, Adam?
It's one of my favorite insert sets. It's a great card, and it's interesting to see Shaq is almost 3 times the cost of Pippen. That's pretty interesting.
As a Shaq collector, not a Pippen collector, I like that personally. Trey Young, NT RPA, numbered out of 99, BGS 95 at $7,500. Now, Adam, call me crazy, but would this not have been 80 grand not too long ago? Am I no?
Yeah, both the market dipping and Trey's stock dipping have left us where we are here. And he went to the conference finals with Atlanta in his second year, I think, or third year. And now they didn't make the playoffs this year.
Let's just take a look at the auto. Auto's very nice. Everything looks nice about this card, except maybe the player. All right, let's go on to the third page now. We got lots of comments coming in here. I'll get to let this load up, and then we'll see the first three cards, and then we'll go back to some of the comments from all of you guys in the chat. Here we go. Here's the first Mike Trout of the night, the X Fractor from 09 Bowman Chrome and a PSA 9 holder. This one is out of 225 at $9,000. Seems cheap to me compared to what I think we would have seen it sell for a little while ago. And Mike Trout is Mike Trout. A lot of people consider him to be a GOAT, or the modern day GOAT. We got an 09 Exquisite Steph Curry. I always wondered, why doesn't this have memorabilia, Adam, whereas most Exquisite RPAs did?
So the reason for that would be that I would assume is that they had to hurry and get this product ready. It wasn't an end of the year release. It was a release it as fast as you can before Panini takes over release. It was right before Panini took the full on license. And so we felt pretty lucky to even get an Exquisite product at that point, but there were no RPAs that year. There were just autographs.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that. And then what is this? This is a Michael Jordan signed NBA Finals Game 6 game used floor, limited to 223 specimens to $7,125. Let's take a better look at this. And I got to ask Adam, how big is this thing? And it's pretty cool. It's pretty darn cool to have an autographed piece of the floor. It's not a card though, but anyway, what are your thoughts on this? And what do you think?
Well, I've never seen it in person. I don't know, but look at Jordan's autograph on the piece of floor. It looks like the autograph is huge and it still doesn't cover that. My guess is that this is probably says in the listing, but it's probably 12 to 16 inches across.
Yeah, nice big frame piece. Well, we'll leave that up to the bidders to decide what they want to grab. Karn has joined us in the back. Karn, I'm going to bring you on in 2 minutes. We're just going to do some comments, and then we'll bring you on and see what you've been up to. Ken Sumner talking about the Tom Brady. Adam, this is with respect to the Tom Brady. He says, iconic, immaculate design. Yep. Tyler says, immaculate is so underappreciated, in my opinion. Throw noir and some impeccables in there. Yeah, I can get behind that comment. For sure. David says that Trey Young is so dumb. You'll see it. You'll see in 4 more items. So maybe we're in a different. Oh, this Trey Young right here. He must be talking about what's so dumb. It says the idea that 99 is the true rookie, so the lower serial numbered cards aren't worth as much, will be one of the biggest wastes of money in 5 years. So he's talking about this card being out of 10. Where the Trey that we were looking at before, the NT, is out of 99. This comes back, Adam, to what we were talking about a bit earlier about the RC designation. I think I'm with David on this. I think the RC designation is given too much credence, not versus second years, not versus third years, but versus other rookie year cards. And I think I'm with David on this, and I think we're in the minority right now, but it might be a growing minority, maybe similar to vintage autographed cards. That was a minority that is growing. Things change in our hobby. Things do change. The advent of tag grading is going to change things slow and steady. I can see the RY designation becoming much more important than it currently is. Please respond, Adam. And I'm curious, too, for the chat to give us your thoughts. If you think me and David are a bit out to lunch, or you think we're onto something here.
I think it's a really compelling argument. You can have a lot. The part that part of me that disagrees though is Flawless is an interesting example. When you compare this Flawless card to the National Treasures card, I'm left feeling like it's a very persuasive argument. However, within Flawless, you have several insert sets. This is an insert set that have autographs, that have patches. They're not part of the base set. And it's like, well, they're game used. They're rarer than NT. Shouldn't they be worth more? Okay, that's a compelling argument. Again, I've acknowledged that. But like, if there's 20 insert sets and they're all lower numbered, like, congratulations. But like, that's not really reality. There's more to it, more to the story than that. And you can only have one real in my mind, you can only have one real RC in a base set. So Flawless has a card, has a little diamond on it. I don't really care about the diamond, but it is the real rookie card that exists in the base set that, going back to the old Beckett, has the RC in it. And to me, where there's only one of those, and there's only one of those for that given set, that really does matter still. And I think historically, the hobby has said that really matters, because you can have so many of the other things, but there's only one most recognizable rookie card.
All right. No, good stuff. You're right. There are more of them. There are other inserts in products. This being a parallel to the RC, though, I think gives it I believe it's a parallel to the RC, gives it a bit of an edge to like a scripted swatch or a limited logos or something like that.
I don't think it's a parallel to the RC.
The number 22.
The RC is the card in the base set that has like a diamond in it. Unless maybe I'm wrong, and in 2018 they changed, but prior to 2018 I can say definitively that's not the case. It was always the base card has the gem in it. It is the diamond. Yeah. I think that's still the case in 2018. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right about that.
Yeah, this is a vertical patch auto gold number 22. If the base card with the diamond is also number 22,
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
No.
I wonder. Let's bring out Karn. Karn, you ready to come on? Welcome back, man. It's been a month, I would say, or two. Yeah. I think you missed the last one, didn't you?
I think I was there.
Were you there?
Maybe I was a little forgettable though.
No, you were here. I didn't forget you. I would never.
I'm thinking about the April show when we were at Expo in Toronto.
Yeah,
Karn. I was thinking a couple months ago. Well, welcome back. Gotta just say thank you for wearing that. Absolutely, look at that hat he's wearing. Everybody, the Sports Cards Live hat.
It's live, baby.
Appreciate it, man. So, first of all, how are you? And second of all, are you bidding on anything in this Premier Auction tonight?
I'm great, and I'll answer the question for the Trae Young thing. The diamond one is the true rookie, so there is a diamond. It's true rookie as in there's a different image and there's a little piece of like diamond on the card. I believe it's like card number 20 or something like that.
And it's from the base. It's from the base set.
From the base.
But is it card number 22 or is it card number 20?
No, I think it's card number 20. I've looked into this before, and
so there's a separate set within those packs of Flawless called vertical patch autos, and this is an insert set with a normal numbering system. Yeah, still, I mean, at that point,
I get both sides.
Way better than the diamond card.
100%. There's just so many patch autos in that set, though, like the Flawless set. It's kind of like Eminence, where it's just so easy to hit like an autographed, cool memorabilia card. So the whole set kind of just devalues. While with National Treasures, I get it though. It's like photo shoot. It's out of 99, but at the same time, it's hard to hit, and it's kind of what everyone's going after. So it makes sense. We see it in hockey all the time too.
I think at that point, you have to just pick the card. As long as it's an RY card, pick the one that you like the best, because they're not all going to be as nice as each other. And this is a beautiful card, whether it's Trae Young or not. For me, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous card. So I love it. David here says, we got an extra bid on that trade just by talking about it. That's influence. I call it inspiration, David. We're inspiring people to buy cards, but in that case, maybe it's a bit of influence too. All right. Well, thank you. Here's the Mickey Mantle. We talked about this at the top of the show. An absolutely stunning SGC4 Mantle rookie card, true rookie, 51 Bowman. We talked about it at the top, so we'll go by this one. And we have a Tom Brady. This is a National Treasures personalized silver hollow auto out of 5 at $12,500. It's pretty cool. I'm not loving the aesthetic overall on this, but still a pretty darn cool Super Bowl MVP inscription. Anything to say about this one from either of you guys?
Great. I always love inscriptions. It's a great card.
All right, let's keep on going here. Exquisite collection noble nameplate. So here's another example. Now this is I always forget, Adam, is that a sticker auto or it's not a sticker auto?
But looks like one.
It looks like one, but it isn't a sticker auto. I love this card. Absolutely love it. And it's similar to that Trae Young we just looked at in that it's from one of the insert sets within the brand rookie. It's not an RC, but it's an RY. And if you like this better than you like the looks of his exquisite RPA or some other insert in there, you have your option for a fraction of the price, 10% of the price. You can get a rookie year autograph patch LeBron James with some really nice hollow foil. We love Adam and I. We love the hollow foil on this card. We've seen it a few times. Either of you guys have a comment on this one?
Yeah, I did my research on this card because I was highly interested in it. I'm actually really upset I missed out on the one in the last premiere because there was a BGS 9.5 last month. But through my research, this is, I think, one of the best patches for this card out there. I looked at, I believe like 15 years of data of this card. To me, this was the best patch that I could find that's available online. And yeah, it's a great copy, great card. I love my LeBron exquisite. So for me, it's like, I wish I got the 9.5 last month. So strike that on this one this month, though.
Well, Brent says, what do you guys think about that auto on the Noble? I wasn't sure about it. It looks fine to me, Brent. It's getting a little bit darker maybe here and here, but I don't know. That might not actually be the case. Adam, what are your thoughts on the autograph itself?
There's in the second part, just after the L, there's that line.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, I wonder if that's on I wonder if that's what Brent's talking about. I wonder if that's on the line or on the case, or if that's on the autograph itself. It's been in the case for a long time, so there's a chance that is on the case. And we all know that Beckett holders sometimes tend to have some of those types of things that make it harder to get a great image of the autograph. But it's blue enough for me. It doesn't feel like it's faded beyond something that is offensive to me.
Yeah, I think it's very close to me. For me, it's blue enough. I think it's teetering the edge of whether it's blue enough for me. Mm-hmm. But it's there. You don't really see it getting black, but there are spots that it's getting a little dark. But I think that patch being the best patch in the set, I think that's obviously it's not the most attractive patch you can get for LeBron, but for this card, it's the best one. So can't go wrong with that.
All right, thanks. I want to do a couple comments from a few minutes ago. 10 minutes ago, S. Walker said, this is my first time submitting a card to one of these big auction sites, and in particular PWCC, the McDavid Seismic Gold autograph from PG Platinum. Been a blast following the action with you guys. Well, S. Walker, thank you so much for being here with us. Cards AH, talking about RCs, RYs, says, I think it's cyclical. People think they're worth more and people buy them. The true rookie designation never made much sense to me. Yeah, like it did in some sets, it makes sense. But when you have all these other cards to choose from, I hear you, doesn't make it. It makes sense, but I just don't buy into it as much as I used to. I'm just leaning away from it. All right, guys. Tiger Woods, SP Authentic, Gold, rookie autograph out of 100, PSA 10, Gem Mint. I think this is his best card. What a great piece. Karn, you're nodding along. Any thoughts on this card from your perspective?
Yeah, it's my favorite Tiger Woods card, and I know it's just a grill piece for golf collectors, and a card that was really, really hard to find like a few years back. I think we've seen a couple now in the last couple of months come to auction, and wow, McDavid just hit $20,000. Great action on that card. But yeah, that Tiger Woods piece out of 100, it's his top card. That's the real Tiger Woods piece right there.
Pop 16 on this, everybody. Only 16 of these. Now, I always come back to the Jordan Fleer because it's kind of the beacon of the hobby, right? 320 of those. Tiger Woods is a world class athlete, top of his sport for a long time. And he's still young, even though he's got issues. He may never be the same as he was. It makes sense to get in some car accidents here and there, but this card seems to be a wonderful long-term, iconic card. So anyway, I love it. Pop 16 is quite low. I gotta think. Brent has a couple comments here. I want to quickly. The Tiger Gold is amazing, says Autumn Crawford. Brent wants a Sports Cards live hat. There are no more, believe it or not. There are only ever 12 of them ever made so far. I can order some more though, Brent. Maybe I should. And he says, I did a post about getting a Tiger Gold out of 109.5 for the same price as a PSA 10 out of. Yeah, I remember that, Brent. So the 9.5, yeah, that's where this card is so special. And what Brent is saying is that you could buy this in a BGS 9.5 for the same price as a PSA 10 for the parallel out of 900. So this being a great buy. All right, guys, let's move on to this one. 2005 Trilogy, dual auto, dual jersey, LeBron James, Michael Jordan from 2005. It's a PSA 10. The autograph's got a 10. Pop 2. Adam, this card seems awesome to me. Now, $35,000 is an awesome price. These aren't patches. These are jerseys. But, I mean, the grade is pretty good. Let's look at the autos. Something definitely sticks out with that LeBron, but you almost have to think that's something on the case, is it not? Because how could those get it? Yeah, look at this over here, guys. Let me just see this scratch on the case. You can tell because it comes below the card. I am thinking I'm with 75% confidence that this is all on the slab, not the card itself. Same thing. There's some stuff over here. Only 15 copies. Adam, take it away, man.
I'm glad you called that out, Jeremy, because this is a newer graded card. I think you're right. Trilogy was a set that was, done for a few years. Some people really loved it, and this is one of the hallmark cards from that line. The dual autograph of these two, the Jordan jersey, obviously from the All-Star game. Just a great combination. Serial number out of 15, and then something we haven't talked about as much is people love that 10-10, the grade of the 10 on the card, the grade of the 10 on the autos. So it's really one of those perfect dual autographs. And you can see by the price, because most dual autographs of these two guys don't go as high as this one is right now. People are valuing the 10-10. They're valuing the jerseys and all of that.
Yeah. Yes, they are. Nova, welcome to the show. Nova finally made it to a live. Glad to have you. And David F says no vintage. Well, I can answer that. There are a few vintage cards in the auction, but not as many as usual. And I think part of that is because PWCC is introducing the Vintage Premier Auction, which actually went live today and ends 2 weeks from now. So we will be doing a Vintage Premier live show 2 Thursdays from now, covering those items. I think there are 85 items. And actually, let me just show you guys something. If you scroll up, you can see right here, the June Vintage Auction right there just went live. So we have 104 items in this auction. And if I were to click that, we'd see how many more there are. We can do that at the end. I don't want to lose track of where we are right now, though. All right. Oh, Karn, I forget what you said. Are you bidding on anything in this? Are you still bidding on anything in this auction tonight?
I was actually going to make my entrance by making a bid and making people guess what I bid on when it popped up. But in that time that we waited, that 2 minutes time span, the card went up by $10,000. So
are you out on that card now?
I'm still thinking about it. I'll say what it is. I'm really, really interested in the LeBron scripted swatch and BGS 9.5.
The rookie year.
No PSA 10 out there. So the BGS 9.5 is the best copy. And I love that card. So, yeah, watching that in the Ultimate RPA. That's what I'm about today.
The Ultimate RPA out of 25.
Yeah, the other 25 Ultimate RPA, the Crosby RPA, and the scripted swatch.
What's the Crosby at right now? Was that 36 last time we saw it?
41 last time I checked.
Seems like a steal for that card. Nice 3-color patch.
So the only reason why I'm not 100% about it is because I'm on this weird I need to collect all the LeBron James rookie autos kind of trip right now. So I need to save money for that. But I was looking at your database on all the Crosby RPAs, and I think that's one of the best patches as well in the whole set. So
it for sure is, for sure.
Hey, let me interrupt real quick, guys. We've gotten a little bit lower on the clock a couple times. I think you saw just a second ago we got down to 4 seconds. We've been under 20 seconds a couple of times, and so we're seeing the bidding slow down quite a bit. Always want to call that out.
Thank you for that, Adam. However, Karn is about to get involved, and that could change things for the whole night. So, all right, let's okay, Adam. Here's another dual auto of LeBron and MJ, numbered out of 25, number 1 of 25, pop 2, pristine 10 on both the card and the autograph. Let's just take a look at these autos. This card does look beautiful. SP game used. Oh wow, these might be the nicest autographs I've ever seen of both of these players on a single card. Maybe even alone. These are look at the laydown of the ink, except for right there. This is a perfect autograph. This autograph, this is a perfect Michael Jordan autograph. Adam, am I missing something? Is there anything I'm not seeing? Because this autograph looks absolutely gorgeous. The color is perfect. The pressure looks to be perfect. Oh my God.
It's neat. You don't see too many cards that have multiple players on them that still got a 10 grade. Right? Because it's been touched by both those guys. So to end up still in a really high grade like that's pretty cool. Yeah.
So the grade of the card as a 10, I mean, looks great to me. And the part of that is I think part of it might be the quality of the construction of the card, but that might be completely wrong. I'm not sure. I'll have to think about that one again. All right, next up, Mega Cracks Ronaldo rookie BGS 9.5 is at 18,500. Probably, the second most important card from the set behind the Messi, but this is an iconic card in and of itself. And then we have a Luka White Sparkle Prism PSA 10 rookie card or RY card, not a rookie, even though it says RC right on it. This is not a rookie card, unfortunately. I think it's as good as one, and it's at $17,000. Adam, any comments on the Ronaldo or the White Sparkle Luka?
So I have a question for you because I've heard you talk about the RY and RC. I would have called this a rookie because it's a parallel of the rookie. Do you not refer to parallels of the rookie as rookie cards? Do you prefer
for me, they are. For me, as good as a rookie card. So the hobby.
So maybe there's 3 classifications then, because there's rookies, there's rookie parallels, which this is that, and there's rookie year, which goes back to that LeBron ultimate signature we were talking about. That's not a parallel, or the Trae Young, maybe more appropriately, as we talked about that for a while. There's kind of 3 classifications to me then.
Yeah, I mean, listen, traditionally, this would not be considered a rookie card. Like Beckett would not have given this the RC designation until maybe very recently. I think there's a shift happening because, look, and Panini does put the RC logo on there. The problem is that it still doesn't meet the criteria of being an actual rookie card because it's not the base card. The base card, not even the silver, is technically a rookie card. Only the base card is technically a rookie card. So, but does that matter? Like, that's the thing. That definition, I think, is outdated. Things have changed. And for me, if I want to own a Luka rookie card, I'm not buying his base card. I'm going to buy a fancier one, like one of these fancier parallels that are just nicer. And in my mind, I'm going to say it's a rookie card. And if I'm selling it, I'm going to put RC on it because I believe that definition is outdated and it should change. I don't know where Beckett Magazine stands on that now, and I don't even think that Beckett Magazine's definitions matter anymore for the hobby. I think the hobby has become bigger than Beckett's definition. Anything there offend anybody?
No, I think it's worth noting that there's 3 classifications worth talking about because when something's really a parallel of the real rookie, I think you're probably right. Beckett usually would always include like a multiplier. They didn't even list cards out, but like it was a multiplier on the rookie, and that's different than an insert.
So here, Brent is saying that Luka is still an RC. If it's a parallel of the exact same card, it's an RC. That's not correct, Brent. That is not the way the hobby looks at it. Now, I think they should. Here's an example. Sidney Crosby, the Cup RPA out of 99. That's the RC. He's got the gold parallel out of 87. Generally speaking, it is not considered a rookie card. It's a rookie card parallel, but it does not get the RC designation. Now, I think it's a rookie card. It's as good as a rookie card to me. I agree with what Brent is saying, but the hobby isn't there yet, generally speaking. And I think it'll get there, but it's not there yet. This comment is not, Brent, like, you need to know that is not true right now, but we may get there. I'm already there in my own head. I'll put it to you that way.
Same.
Okay. Well, Tom Newman said that card's $17,000. Hobby looks at it as a rookie card. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what they should do. I agree with that. I agree that they should look at it, but technically, right? And but who's to say who says what technical is? I'm not really willing to give Beckett that much power to tell us what a rookie card is anymore. And I think maybe that's where we're at. Okay, this is a nice looking card. I love the acetate surface on this one, Adam. We're updating it, but I think we're not over yet. Are we? Are we over? Not over. All right. Anthony Edwards, the Ant-Man, 2020 National Treasures patch auto. Only 3 copies made. Pop 2, 1 graded higher. So whether that's all 3 have been submitted to PSA or a couple have been, maybe this one's been submitted twice, and this is the same card that has both of the 2s, right? But in any event, 21,000 on this card. I think it's a beautiful card with a Nike swoosh right in there. Very nice. This is a great card, Adam. 9.5 Kobe, 2003 exquisite auto patch. Karn, anything you want to say over the last couple minutes?
I think that exquisite collection design is my favorite across every year. It just looks amazing to me. The fact, like, that patch window, it looks like an E almost. It's just has a cool factor to it for sure. For sure. But comments for a second. Carlos says we'll definitely get there in the next 25 years, which is how long I will hold. Yeah, I think it's happening soon. I think it's happening right now. Like, listen, I agree with Brent. I've been taking this position for a while, but the whole and the comment earlier here about Tom Newman's comment doesn't mean that's not that comment. I don't think that it sells for 17K means that the hobby looks at it as a rookie. I think some do, but the hobby doesn't. Like 100% of the hobby certainly doesn't. But I still hear you, and I think we should. Carlos says I consider all rookie year cards rookie cards. I mean, I'm okay with that, even though they're just not. I'm okay with that. Too,
Carlos
I think the reason why that happens is focus. It's all about focus, right? The reason why we have true rookie designations is there's certain collectors that want to just collect the true rookies of each player, right? And it makes it easier to collect all those cards. And if you make every card a rookie card, no one can now collect every single rookie card. So I believe in every rookie year card being a rookie card as well, but I also believe in that narrow focus so people can actually chase every card that they're looking for. Because once you kill that designation, I think you actually hurt values a little bit.
Yeah, you add confusion.
I think it comes back to the base set. Kind of stand by what I've said already. The base set and parallels or derivations of the base set is what matters. That LeBron RPA that Karn was talking about, the Ultimate Collection, like, that's a huge card because it's a parallel of the base card. If it was an insert, it would have a different. It would not be a parallel of the rookie card, and that's different than an insert. And so I think that's where the confusion is, and that's why I keep going back to there is really 3 groups. There's a rookie that's from the base set. There's rookie parallels based off of the base. It has the same number on the back. And then there's an insert. And those are the 3 groups of rookie type cards.
So it's really funny because Brent here says, Jeremy, I probably learned this from you. And you probably did, because I'm an advocate for saying, all Prism parallels should be rookie cards. And they say RC right on them. So that does help that argument. And then I'm also an advocate that every rookie year card shouldn't be loved less just because it's not the actual rookie card. So you've got the rookie card, and then you've got like this subsection of the rookie card being the parallels, which are like just I think they're still rookie cards. I do, but I'm not the hobby. And then you've got the rookie year cards, which again, I think RY should move up in importance relative to where RC is at.
But Jeremy, I still don't understand what you're saying. Is RY, are you applying RY to both inserts and parallels?
Yeah.
Because they shouldn't be. They should be different. That the hobby definitely views those things differently.
They shouldn't be. Think of the words rookie year.
But they're viewed very differently. Like a parallel is viewed on a higher plane. A parallel to, like, the Luka Doncic is the perfect example here. Like that white sparkle, the fact that it's a parallel of the rookie card is a huge deal. If it was an insert out of Prism and it was a parallel of that, like,
yeah, not all inserts are. No, I hear you. Not all inserts are created equal, but here's like, there's several like just worthless inserts in Prism. Let's say, well, I don't even know what they're called. People don't even like. They're not even hits. You know what I mean? Are those as good as a parallel of the rookie card? No, but they're still a rookie year card. They're just a common cheap rookie year card. So yeah, there's still a hierarchy of this. But to that point, take a who's rookie? Is it Tim Duncan? Is his PMG a rookie?
Yeah.
So that's not even that. Well, I guess that's a parallel of the base card, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah, that's a parallel of the base card. So,
but yeah. Like Tim Duncan has some rookie insert.
What about essential credentials? Look at essential credentials. Those are super important.
That's the same because the essential credentials is the parallel of the rookie card. Like that's. EX had some inserts, but we don't even care about those. Like they don't even matter. I don't want to say that, like, because they matter to some people, but the parallel of the rookie and the insert are not on the same plane. And so you have to have like a third group. You really do.
Yeah.
They're not the same.
I agree. I guess there's a delineation there between what we're talking about right now with like these prism inserts versus exquisite and cup and NT inserts, which are like a limited logos is not a parallel of a rookie. It's a totally other set. Yet right. It's as good to me as the rookie card. Auto patch, and usually with a much bigger patch. So like there are different classes of all this stuff, I guess. And it's hard to say all inserts should be as good as a rookie or closer to a rookie card, To
Adam's point, though, the parallel of the LeBron Exquisite, the gold, is the most valuable card, though. So the value gets assigned to the parallel of the rookie card, but the rookie year card, which is like the limited logos, still has lots of value, but it's third on the totem pole.
The limited logos, Jeremy, is the best example you can use for that because the size of the patch is so incredibly additive to the fact that it's an insert. If it was just a normal insert and it didn't have this giant patch next to it, we wouldn't view it the same way. We would view it like a scripted swatches or one of those other sort of, inserts. But because it's got this giant patch to it, it's like a super insert. But I'm with you that it's not a parallel. I think it's a great conversation.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. There's a lot of different viewpoints on it for sure. And I'm still working it out in my own head because there are some. And I'm sort of discriminating against some cards because they're just who cares cards, like some of these inserts. But some really good comments coming through. Nathan Bissett here says rookie card doesn't really mean much anymore. Flawless is out 2 years after the draft, after second year cards are released and are still considered rookie. I don't buy into that, Nathan. The timing of cards coming out to me doesn't change their rookie card status as long as the back of the card was still manufactured at the right time and they just took a longer or I shouldn't say that because with the pandemic it pushed things back from a supply chain perspective. But I'm still, here's the thing, if the back of the card says the year that the card was meant to come out, 20 years from now no one's going to really remember or care when it actually came out. So consider that. Short memory for sure when it comes to that sort of thing. Carlos says, I go by what is harder to hit in the box in the rookie year, and the long-term rarity will define price, not true rookie. I agree with that. Tyler says, in the ultra-modern world, any parallel or insert is considered by most as a rookie card. A fascinating card is Kobe's 96 Finest Airs, Gold Refractor, that we saw earlier with the Peel rookie card. Yeah, to me, it's a rookie card. To me, it's a rookie card. Adam Crawford says, true rookie card is still an important distinction. I consider any base card or parallel of the base card to be a true rookie. The rest are rookie year. So he's got that sort of 3 or that 1A, 1B, and then a 2, right? And I like that way of looking at it. Silvery Silence, welcome, says parallels of the rookie year of the regular rookie increase in value with the added rarity and popularity. For example, Cracked Ice and Super Bowl ticket. Yeah, I agree with that completely, Silvery, that it increases in price, but that doesn't necessarily correlate with whether or not it gets the RC designation. And again, I really think the RC designation is too narrow of a definition. And yeah, Adam says it's still an important distinction. We've got a YouTube channel out there, Victor, the rookie card specialist. He's trying to preserve the RC, and I'm kind of saying I don't care so much about the RC myself anymore, but that's just me.
You know what's ironic about this conversation, Jeremy, is that maybe the most collected, or one of the most collected guys in all of basketball, Giannis Antetokounmpo, has a flawless true rookie card in this auction. We haven't gotten to it. It's not really highly sought after. It's easily his rarest true rookie card. It's out of 20. And we haven't even talked about it because I think that the issue isn't as like people don't think about the true RC. And exactly to your point, people don't think about it like the way that they used to. It used to be like the only thing that matters now, a big old autograph and patch from a rookie photo shoot on a Giannis card is worth so much more than his rarest true rookie card.
So you made me think of something there, Adam, which is 90s inserts have become, and parallels have become, such a hot segment of the hobby in the last few years. And I wonder if the rise of 90s insert, and then, and especially in hockey with Upper Deck putting out more and more really cool inserts and parallels in Fleer products, Peachy Platinum, and that, I think that stems from the 90s. I think that all comes out of the rise up of the 90s inserts, because those have become so popular and they're not rookie cards, they're not RCs. Is that what sort of led the charge in this broadening of the hobby, accepting non-technical RCs as RCs?
Great question. And probably, yes. Ironically, that Giannis got a bid right after we started talking about it.
Yeah. Decoy Card says, hot take, a true rookie shouldn't have an auto or a patch. I mean, it's a hot take, but I completely disagree because the hobby has evolved. The hobby's evolved since the 1990s, where rookies and rookies and autos. I don't agree, Decoy, but go with it if that's what you like. I'm not gonna judge that comment. I just disagree with it. All right, let's see what else we got. We got the Crosby RPA here at $41,000. Even though it's off centered, I still think that that's a steal of a price, but it's also 10 times what they used to sell for back in 2006. So we'll see. It all comes down to timing. We got a Contenders Optic Gold vinyl, Jalen Hurts rookie auto, 1 of 1, PSA 9 at $16,750. That seems like a good card to me if you are bullish on Jalen Hurts, and the price seems quite low. Karn is nodding. What do you think, Karn?
Yeah, that's how much his NT RPAs out of 99 photo shoot jersey went for last year, right? So we're talking the same price as a 1 of 1 gold vinyl. And I think that card, for whatever reason, doesn't sell as well as other cards that insert the 1 of 1 gold vinyl. But to me, it's one of the most attractive looking cards in the whole space. It just looks so nice. I just love the gold vinyl feel. It's an on-card auto. You got an action shot as well, and it pays tribute to one of the biggest football cards of all time, the Brady champ ticket. So I think it checks everything off for me.
Beautiful 1958 Aquarella Editora Pele, PSA 6, Pop 3, only 1 graded higher.
Wow.
That is a scarce card right there, $26,000. And I love this thing. Oh my gosh, do I love the looks of this.
So Jeremy, I was going to ask you on this card. Very interested to get your take. We know there's this, and then there's several Pele rookies, but there's this and the Alifa Bolliger. Those are the two that are most sort of recognized. The Alifa Bolliger is the one that set all of the pricing records. But I'm interested to know from you which of the two, and Karn, I'd love to hear your thoughts too. Which one of the two cards do you like more?
Why can't I picture the Alifa Bolliger right now? I know we've seen it 100 times, and I just can't picture it right now. So I need to go to Google very quickly and search Pele Alifa Bolliger.
Good luck spelling that.
Yeah, it didn't. It didn't at all. But I'm gonna
just type in 1958 Pele card, and it'll probably be the first one that pops up.
For me, it's a Alifa Bolliger 100%. It's just for me, that's the Jordan clear to me. That's this is more of the star. That's kind of
why what happened in your mind that created that? What about aesthetically? Do you think that's the case aesthetically?
Yeah, even aesthetically, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. I just love the way it looks, honestly. And I think it's crazy. Like soccer grew so fast in 2018, 2017 seems like a lifetime ago in soccer cards, but everyone used to talk about the Alifa Bolliger. It was no other Pele card was even like spoken about. So the kind of history was there with the Alifa Bolliger. And I think that just resonates and sticks with me a little bit more. And I kind of like the way that card looks in the slab. It kind of reminds me of like a 1911 C55 hockey card, like a Georges Vezina hockey card. So
Karn, my ears are burning listening to this right now. So let me jump in. First of all, okay, just so everyone can see what the Alifa Bolliger looks like. And no wonder I forgot what it looks like, because this thing is just not even good looking. That is not a black border, by the way. That is the background of the card. So that's what the Alifa Bolliger looks like compared to this, which is reminiscent of a 52 tops Mickey Mantle, the way, it's shoulders and head, and it's a great image, and the colors are amazing. Your comment, Karn, that this one reminds you of the tobacco cards from the early 1900s. It has no border, and that really impacts the I don't like it because it has no border besides the bottom. This is the other thing is that you said, a lot of the attention was around the Alifa Bolliger for so long. I think that's because what people knew. A lot of these cards were discovered, it feels like, more recently. There's the size of this one, the color, the image, everything. Adam, it's not even close for me. Now, Karn is going with what he knows. I'm not like judging or saying you're wrong. You're right for you, but for me, it's not even close. And the fact that they're from the same year, hands down, this one for me, hands down.
Yeah, it's like, how like people say PMGs
I just want to say,
so ugly.
Yeah, I want to hear.
Sorry, is it my internet connection?
No, it's Adam's. You go ahead, Karn. Let Adam's internet catch up for a sec.
Yeah, sometimes like those type of cards, like people hate how PMGs look. Like even the Jordan red PMG, people hate you can't see his hand on the basketball card and it's just ugly looking for a lot of people. And for me, it's the most beautiful card ever. And a lot of that has to do with like the historical significance of the card, the fact it's been in magazines for so long. So I think that really like attributes to, the aesthetics for me as well. It's just the historical like play of the whole situation. But yeah, I get what you mean. Like it looks like a cool card, but the Alifa Bolliger was just the card that I always saw. So it's what resonates with me, And
I get that's your nostalgia, man. Like that's nostalgia. That's your person, and that's totally valid. But for me, I don't have that nostalgia for it, so it's a no-brainer for me. Adam, what were you going to say? Okay, we seem to have lost Adam. I think
I'm having some delay issues right now. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Why don't you leave and come back? Okay, Adam.
Okay.
I'm gonna kick you from the studio, and we're going to let him come back. I've never had to kick out Adam before, but desperate times call for desperate measures. In the meantime, I want to go to a couple comments here. Tyler Teapot, welcome, says, I appeal only. It's this one over Alifa by far. I agree. Tom Newman says on the Alifa, he's in a stadium. I would argue to say he's in a stadium on this card too, but they cropped it out. Think of the George Mikan rookie from 48 Bowman in basketball. The background is blacked out. The Gordie Howe rookie, 51 Parkhurst. There's no background on that card, so that doesn't bother me. But I hear you, Tom Newman. But I don't. That doesn't move the needle for me at all. Thank you for the update, David. Say that 5 times fast. Vintage, I prefer the Alifa Bolliger simply because it has his name on the front. The Aquarella doesn't have his name anywhere. That's a good point. I like definitely can see value. Yeah, that's a good point for sure. I do like, though, that with Pele, you don't need his name. You know who he is, but I do hear you on that one.
And this one reminds me of the stamp.
Calciatori in subsequent years are fantastic, especially 1964.
Does it not, Jeremy? Does this car not look like a stamp? Like, for me, that's what it looks like. It looks like a stamp on an envelope.
Yeah, that's what the Alifa Bolliger. This looks like a stamp to me. It's so small.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
That was the first thing I was thinking, was that one looks like a stamp. Okay. Hey, listen, that's the beauty of this hobby, is that we can talk these things out, disagree on, or have different preferences on cards, even have some preferences on what a rookie card is. And I love the fact that there's no governing body anymore. Beckett used to be that, but you know, they're magazine anyway. They're not that anymore. And we can decide for ourselves. I prefer that we can decide for ourselves whether we think a card is a rookie card or not. I prefer the hobby that way. Here's a Derek Jeter Star Rubies. We have the Ken Griffey Jr. in the auction as well. And here's a Jeter at $13,000. Only 50 copies of this in existence. And Adam still hasn't come back. I hope he comes back soon. We have an Ohtani Superfractor. This is a Leaf Metal, so maybe not a Superfractor. I shouldn't have said that. This is a Leaf Metal Draft Gold Super 1/1 Ohtani with a sticker autograph at $97.50. That's a very pretty card.
Yeah, very nice.
And a Wilt Chamberlain. Look at the centering on this PSA 7 near mint Wilt. It has the PWCC eye appeal rating of exceptional, which is in the top 15%. It's at 13,500. Let's take a quick look at this, because this does look exceptional to me. The centering is really nice, really, really nice, but the registration is very good. You see a little bit of white right here under his arm. You see a little bit over his head, but you often see much more. The Warrior here looks to have really good registration, actually. Just a little bit of white coming up right there, but nothing serious. Very nice copy for a 7. And I think that PWCC was right with that eye appeal designation. And then you've got my favorite card. Probably I own one of these, as I said earlier in the show. I have a BGS 9 as well. Mine does have better subgrades. And I love this card. And please, everybody, feel free to bid this one up to support the value of mine. I'm just kidding. I do love this card, though, and it's like one of my favorite cards in my whole collection. A couple comments that have come in here. Carlos says, Beckett is obsolete. You can say it. Yeah, I think the price guide and the definitions have become obsolete. Well, the price guide's obsolete because things move too fast now. But they do have online pricing, but I haven't ever used it. I think there's enough data out there for people to price themselves. And Vintage Card Collector says, who's more collectible, Griffey or Jeter? I believe it's Griffey. What do you think?
Griffey, 100%.
100%.
No doubt about it.
I think so too. I know a couple Jeter collectors actually, but I know more Griffey collectors. We're updating here. Is this thing over? Let's see if it's over. It might be over.
Yeah, it looks like it's taking a while here.
Yeah, this might be over.
Yeah, it's done.
Is it done?
On my end, it's done.
Yeah. The auction is over. Everybody, congratulations to all the winners of new cards. Congratulations to the sellers if you're happy with what you got for your cards. Teapot agrees, says Griffey for sure.
That
And
Jordan's mine, by the way.
Which one?
The little frame, the game used floor.
Yeah?
Yeah, I heard you guys talking about it. It's
that was yours.
Yeah, it's 8x10. It's very small. But
it's 8x10. Okay.
Yeah, but it's nice. It's from that locker find I told you about.
Oh, right on. Well, good. I hope you're happy. Are you happy with 8850?
Yeah, I'm happy with it for sure.
Good. Very nice. Okay, so let's do this. Now that the auction is over, let's sort by highest price, highest first, and let's just kind of run through and see what went on here. So the Brady didn't get any more bids, ends at 384. The triple logo man with LeBron and Jordan settles in at 234. And again, everybody, these do include buyer's premium. The Babe Ruth Gaudy PSA 7 sold for $138,000. Wow. What a card. Triple logo man, the San Antonio Spurs card did $99,000. Adam's favorite card in the auction, the Kobe Star Rubies, did $96,000. One of my favorites in the auction, the Tiger Woods SPA Gold, did $93,000. The numbers pieces Jordan, $78,000. Karn, the LeBron Ultimate Rookie Patch Auto out of 25, did $72,000. And the Jordan BGS 9.5, I think I said I can see this card selling for $65,000 to $70,000. I think I said that earlier, and I might have been right on. If I didn't say that, did I say that?
I don't know, but that's a nice card copy right there.
Yeah,
Looks
half
pretty,
a point away from a 10 on this one.
Wow.
Yeah. The Kobe logo man did 66. We didn't get to that card. The LeBron 03 Exquisite auto patch 63. And did you buy this card, Karn?
I'm really upset about it, but no, I didn't.
You didn't.
I was at 45. 45 was my number. And I thought I was going to win it for sure, so I'm a little sad.
Nice. Does 55 too. I just noticed that Brent says he got one card. You got to tell us, what did you get? What did you get, please? Very curious, and congratulations. The Luka Flawless does 50. Wow. I think this is low for Crosby at 49 too, right? Like,
Crosby, for whatever reason, it's he's losing a little steam in modern hockey. I don't know why.
Well, it's what have you done for me lately? He didn't make the playoffs lately, so that's a lot of it. Josh Allen NTRPA does $48,000. The dual auto from Upper Deck Trilogy, Jordan and LeBron, does $46,800. The booster pack of Magic the Gathering, $44,400. The LeBron rookie year Noble nameplates does $44,400. The Mahomes Contenders Cracked Ice does $43,000. The Peyton Manning Precious Metal Gems does $42,000. Aaron Judge, $41,000. The dual Kobe and Lamar Odom does just under $40,000. The full set of PSA 9s, Karn, $38,400. I think that's low. I really feel that that's low.
Yeah.
But a lot of cards there. Record breaker here, we believe. The Elway PMG Green does just shy of $40,000. And that's we'll stop right there on the first page. Thank you for letting us know. Brent bought the PSA 9 Trout X Fractor. I thought it was nicer than the 9.5. Well, good for you for buying the card and not the grade. I think that's very smart. The professor jumps in and says, exceptional discussion, both knowledge and wisdom prevailed. Yeah, we had some good, almost, I don't want to use the word debate because we weren't against each other, but we definitely debated a few concepts tonight. And I think I'm glad we do. I enjoy that a lot. So I hope you guys did as well. Let's just kind of scroll through page 2 here as well, just for fun, and then we'll wrap up. And Adam didn't come back. I hope he's not mad at me because I actually had to boot him, but that doesn't predispose him from getting back in. I'm just going to scroll through. I'm not going to talk so much here. Let's have a look. This Trout did $36,000. The update black out of 60. Josh Allen Prism Gold does 32. The Soto 31. The Manning that we talked about, $38,000. The Aquarella, 31. This is a beautiful Kobe. I saw Spinatron saying that this was a card to buy if you wanted a Kobe auto. Might have been his though, I'm not sure. PSA 8 Kareem Superior does $30,000. The dual Cade Jalen does 30. What about this this card here, Karn? I was thinking this might have been a card for you, or do you already have a copy?
Yeah, I already have a copy.
Okay.
Love that card. Sense. I feel 28.8 is so cheaper out of 50 LeBron James. That's my, like, it's just, I don't know. It's such a nice card in person too.
Thank you, Nova. Appreciate you joining live for the first time. Love this Lou Gehrig, not the Lou Gehrig I want for my collection. I want the 33, but still very nice. The Kobe Finest Refractor with coating does 28.8. PSA, or sorry, the SGC 4 beautiful Mickey Mantle rookie does 28.8, as does this Kobe Exquisite Auto patch.
Amazing patch on that one.
This is a beautiful card here. These autos are great. 28.2 on the dual SP game used. Beautiful Cobb green portrait does 26.4. The Ant-Man out of 3, 25.2. There's the Dirk Nowitzki Masterpieces row 2, 1 of 1, does 24.6. My other favorite card in the auction, the Shaquille O'Neal Molten Metal Fusion Titanium, does 24K.
Shaq's are getting love, eh? You're probably very happy about that.
I am. I mean, I got a nice little Shaq PC I put together over the last few years, and yeah, I'm very happy about that for sure. How about this one, Karn? The out of 25, Connor McDavid does $24,000. What do you think of that price?
I know the consignor was looking around that range, so he's going to be really happy. And I think that's a great price for that card. I think it shows the kind of staying power and that relevance of the platinum brand in hockey right now. It's really, really hot, and I think it's going to be hot for a long, long time. It's the prism of hockey, basically. So,
well, here you go. S. Walker says, this was my first time submitting a card to these auction sites, the McDavid Seismic Auto. That's the submitter. He was the consignor. He was in the chat with us.
What a great looking card. Like, it's just a perfect looking card, on card auto, well framed, in person, it refracts like crazy. It's amazing.
So good. So good. We got the Johnny Moore base card. I can't
love that card.
23.4. Beautiful Curry does 22.8. Yao Ming, 1 of 1 Exquisite, does 22.8. Seems low to me for a 1 of 1 of Yao Ming, especially with the big the Asian fans of Yao. I'm surprised that didn't go for closer to 50, but I don't follow the market very closely to make any other comments. In any event, that's going to wrap up the show, guys. So thank you to everybody in the chat for joining. Thank you, and I'm sorry to Adam. I hope he would have been able to click back in. But I'm gonna have to talk to him and just make sure. But goodbye on behalf of Adam. Goodbye on behalf of myself. Karn, thanks again. Not tomorrow night, Saturday night on the channel, guys. Sports Cards Live with Robbie Pastry. He's got some great cards. He's got some great takes. You will enjoy it'll be another great discussion sort of episode. And then Sunday night, I'll be back with Josh Madigan from the Hockey Cards Gong Show to cover the PWCC hockey items ending in the weekly auction. And with that, Karn, I'll let you say goodbye, and then we're done.
Thanks for having me, Jeremy. It was a blast.
Thank you. Hang tight one sec, Karn.
This is my first time striking out on a PWCC auction with you. I bought one card every single time until this one.
Until this one. All right, well, hang tight 1 second. Thank you again, everybody who's watching. Appreciate you being here. And with that, this episode is over.